I'm just going to go live. Let's go live. Let's go live. All right, so let's see if we're live everywhere we need to be. All right. YouTube looks like, all right, we're live on YouTube. And now Instagram. There we go. All right, guys. Here we go, baby. Here we go. Let me make a few minor adjustments for our chat. There we go. Welcome, welcome, everybody. We just started the live, so I'm just kicking off the live. What's up, James? How are you, buddy? Hopefully that wasn't too loud. Dang. I have one coffee. Still not enough, but I'm already a little jazzed up. We got a few things going on. I got something new for my setup that I want to start doing with you guys. I'm also gonna possibly have someone come on and be a little guest speaker today. If anybody else wants to, you guys are welcome. But we got to kick it off because it's Sunday. It's a good day to do this, dude. Let's do this.
The Great White Hope.
And we got some of our sound bites, bro. We gotta bring in Jesse Lee Peterson, bro.
The Great White Hope.
You know how we do that. I don't have my shirt on today. It's in the wash, but I want to buy some more, and I want to get in with you guys if anybody else wants to get on those. And we'll kind of, I got to order my hats too, so we'll get that set up. But you will see I got RFK. What's up, State Line? State Line's back in, dude. Hell yeah. What's up? What's up? You guys will see I got RFK on the screen because Monday morning Asia here. What's up, Asia, dude? Holy cow, all the way from Asia. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good to have you. Model Actors 2025. Hopefully you're not spamming and trying to advertise modeling and stuff, but it's okay because we just had someone do that the other day. Anyway, we are just kicking it off. People are coming online right now on YouTube. Qingdao, right on. And so you'll see that I have something on the screen right now. I got RFK looking at you with his beautiful eyes, with his blue eyes, I should say. Nice guest speaker Sunday. What's up, State Line? Yeah. I guess we can make it a thing, but maybe we do it every stream. So you see, I got RFK on the screen. That's because the ladies have been asking to have something for themselves. They wanted some palate cleansing of their own. So as you guys know, we do have some palate cleanser that we throw in the middle of things. So we got Carolyn, just in between kind of some of the things that we're doing. We got Carolyn, we got Paulina Luna, we got Caitlin, we got Mary Margaret Olahan. So we got some palate cleansers in between some of the segments I do. I just kind of clear things up. We kind of, while we're changing gears a little bit, we do a little palate cleanse. We show some of the prominent figures that maybe we find attractive, just to kind of refresh our minds real quick so we can jump into something new. Now, the ladies said that they wanted some too. So I guess, for their sake, yeah, Luna, dude. BBB Bowtie says, yes, good afternoon from Lehigh Valley, Pennsylvania. I don't know how to say that right, but it's okay, bro. I'm from California. I don't know any better, bro. You know how we are out here. Unfortunately, we're in our own little bubble. Ash Rose says, good day from Phoenix, Arizona. You got it right. Hell yeah, bro. Right on, bro. Love it. I gave it a shot. Now, for the ladies, I brought up, I have a couple that I put up. I don't know if they're good or not. I just, I had Miss Medication help me out, but she was like, I'm not sure if they're going to like it or not. Let's see. We got Brandon Gill. We got Mr. Pete Hexeth. Melania is a pound cake, though. Oh, Rob is right, dude. We don't have Melania. We got Josh Howley. This is for the ladies, okay? Josh Howley. and then RFK. Okay. Post pics of Trump's. Yeah. You talking about Barron? She mentioned Barron too, dude. But he's not 21, she says. She's yelling from the other room. She says, he's not 21. Does he have to be 21? Is that a thing? I don't know. I don't know if he has to be 21. Barron, Trump. And let's see if there are any good pictures for you ladies. You know what? This is a good picture. Save image. Let me see here. Rob says, Tiffany, LMAO, yes, it's a thing. Yeah, all right. Tiffany, Trump says, underrated. Your podcast. No. All right, dude, let's get Barron Trump, because you guys just mentioned Barron Trump, and actually Miss Medication mentioned that too. So I think I'm gonna start with this, and then we'll get maybe a better picture. But this is just on the fly. I found this picture, and we'll just run with this real quick. Whoa, that's way too big. We'll just run with this for now, since he did that. I think that was some part of the inauguration, I believe, right? There we go. So now we got Barron Trump in the mix. So RFK, Barron Trump, depending on what, kind of age you're going for. We got Josh Hawley, which, Miss Medication was saying that he looks hot when he's, talking in those hearings and kind of going off on people and pinning people down. Rob Max says Christy Noam. We had Christy Noam. Where is she? I had Christy Noam here somewhere. I don't know where it is. I'll have to pull that up too. Okay, Mary Margaret, Christy Noam. Okay. He did that to Biden. He did. Oh yeah, he did that to Biden. Yeah, exactly. Prion says Barron's so smart with the technology. He turned computer on in only 5 minutes. We already got people talking smack. I love it, bro. Here we go. It's a good Sunday. We're getting started. We're getting warmed up, dude. I love this. I got another new addition to my setup. I call it a studio, but I'm not trying to. I mean, let's call it a studio. Okay, my little studio. I got a new setup here. Okay, so I got this right here, and you can't see what this is, but this is my. Wow, why is it so dark? Oh, there we go. So this is my journal, so I kind of have a couple books in here, and I do some journaling. But we have underneath that a new book. Okay, so I have a new book. He says, I think Don Jr. is good looking guy for real. Ash Rose. Okay. Ash Rose says, Don, I'm going to make some noise. James says, ask Miss Med if woman likes smoky eyes. Miss Med, babe, Miss Medication. Let me just mute. She's a little too far away, can't hear me. So I'll find out. JD, of course, JD Vance, of course. We know who that is. Smoky Eyes. I got called Smoky Eyes before, but he is the original Smoky Eyes, I'll just say. JD Vance, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, we'll get to JD. So I'm gonna make notes on this. So JD Vance and Trump Jr. So let's do this. JD Vance and Trump Jr. And then I'll get to those, and we'll get that going. But you know what? Let's just do this. JD Vance. Should I just put JD Vance hot? JD Vance hot. No, it's hard to. I'll have to get back to that. All right. So what I got on the screen right here is it's a book, and it's right here. It's a new camera I have set up for this. So this is another camera streaming. So we got like a couple things going on now. more for me to multitask. What I'll do, this is the 48 Laws of Power. Okay. This is a book by Robert Greene. If you guys don't know who Robert Greene is, he's awesome. He's one of my favorite authors, and he actually collabed with me once on Instagram, which was really, really cool of him. But if you don't know who he is, I'm trying to pull him up right now for you. I got Mary art still on there. Beautiful made cover. Yeah, this is the special edition one. You can't even see it because I turned it off. But this is the special edition version of the book. You can see it has this cool kind of stuff on it, and it's just a nice, beautiful setup there. So we're gonna go through 48 Laws of Power together. We'll go through it slowly. I'll just pick one of them. Maybe we'll go from the beginning and just go from there. Ash Rose says she loves books. Ash Rose, same here. I'm currently reading this personally, separate from the stream. So notes from the underground. Not sure if you read that. I'm also going to read this pretty soon. Okay. Nietzsche, Thus Spoke Zarathustra. And then, of course, Nietzsche's, very well-known book, Beyond Good and Evil. So we're going to get into books a little bit. We're not going to read actual books. I know your guys' attention spans and your level of entertainment, your expectations are very high, right? So I need to match that somehow, and I'm going to do my best. Love your book selections, bro. A lot of great material. Thank you, State Line. I'm into some of them. I haven't even read them. Robert Greene and Jordan Peterson and some other who I call intellectuals have recommended these books. So I'm diving in, bro. Diving in. All right. So we got 48 Laws of Power, and then we also have here. Let me get rid of Margaret. There we go. So this is Robert Greene, guys. If you don't know who he is, this is him. I'm moving something around. I don't even know what I'm moving. Okay, there we go. So this is Robert Greene. He's the author of this book called 48 Laws of Power. And yeah, at some point we're going to open it up and go to, there's law number 1. And so we'll just read them a little bit and kind of go through and see, what these laws are. Some of them might be exciting. Some of them maybe not so much, but we'll talk about it. I'm going to pull them up. I'm going to read the law. I'm going to give his quick little, breakdown of what that law is, and then we can all kind of discuss this together. So I'm kind of excited for that. So there's that, and then I might even do a little bit of like kind of journaling stuff with you guys, and so kind of go through some of that stuff, and so we'll figure it all out, and we'll have fun with it. Hopefully you guys will enjoy that. We'll do a little segment on that. Of course, we're going to do a recap of kind of what's been going on in the news. We got some Devori that's going to break down some things for us. Let me see here. What are my recently closed tabs? Recently closed tabs. What did I just close? Okay. So let's go here. And there was one here that I wanted to show you guys.
What we just heard.
All right, federal.
Here we are.
Oh, we also have a discussion with our favorite one and only Mr. John Kennedy. So we're going to figure out what that was about. I think this was the one
in
that
today's
I just closed. All right. So yeah, we're going to go through a little recap. We're also going to go through some clips, and I'm going to start with clips, guys. So we're going to start with some Instagram, and we're going to talk about that. And then I might bring in a guest speaker. I might have State Line come in, or anyone else that wants to talk. I can bring you guys in. Mark Smith said, "That's my senator. He's the best." Mark Smith, bro. Mark Smith. I'm telling you, dude, he's the man. He's the man. The one and only. All right, I'm going to go through some clips on Instagram, and we're going to flip flop, and we're going to have some fun, and we're going to let some major ADD kick in. So just,
if you have digital.
Let's go for a little ride, guys. Let's do it. Happy Sunday. It's October 12th, 2025. Halloween is upon us, and we're going to go. Hello, Salmon here, bro. Hell yeah, Salmon. Good to see you, bro. Thank you for joining, baby. Hell yeah, hell yeah. Let's look at this. State Line sent this one. There's a couple. I'm going to go through a couple. And then State Line, if you want to talk a little bit about one of these clips that I'm going to put up, let me know. Let's start off with a little bit of entertainment first, okay? Little entertainment, okay? Here we go.
People shouldn't have to work to prove their value to you. In fact, people shouldn't have to work.
It is so insane they expect me to be responsible. Like, bro, just give me free money, free food, and free Wi-Fi and let me vibe. Functioning adult? Never heard of her. Government handouts are my love language. I'm not unemployed. I'm just subsidized by your sweat and hard work. Get it right. And don't even think about calling me lazy. I'm wireless employed.
People shouldn't have to work to prove their value to you. In fact, people shouldn't have to.
I'm trying not to laugh, bro. I don't even know why I'm holding my laughter. It's just too much, bro. I don't know. Oh my God, dude. This is because here's the thing. I don't even know if it's real. It's so out of control. I don't even know if it's real. Like, it's probably real, but I don't know, dude. It's crazy. Jen, welcome, Jen. What's up? Ash Rose, I have no idea what that is, dude, and I don't know if it's real. It's wild. She needs to be on a float down here in New Orleans. I think she would be the float, bro. Not on the float. She is the float, bro. Yep. Okay. Something cool that I like. I love nature. I love stuff. I love our planet. I love life. And as you guys know, in the animal kingdom, this is not any kind of misogyny, as some of you guys on the left are going to say, but most of the animal kingdom, including spiders, the males are more colorful. They are more pleasing to the eye. Why? Because they have to win over the females. And here are some good examples. These are some beautiful spiders doing their spider things because they have to win over the females. I love this. Look at this, dude. Is this crazy or what? Look at the wonderful world we live in, guys. So I'm just warming up. We just started the stream. Those of you that are joining, we're just kind of getting a little warmed up, getting kind of dialed in and looking at a few things, and here we go. We're starting with nature. This is wild, guys. This is incredible. Incredible. So this is all real stuff. These are all spiders that have to do amazing things. Most of these colors are to win over females, and that's just how that goes. They look like little aliens. Yes, they do. Fargo says, a child's mind. I'll take that as a compliment. I always want to have, some type of child's mind. I want to be playful for the rest of my life, have fun, enjoy nature. James, James, bro. Love it, man. Love it, love it, love it. And I'm going to jump into a little more nature, but before we do that, let's figure out what these guys are talking about.
If you have digitally verified ID, then you run into the problems of digitally verified ID, and they're running down that road in China now. So in China, for example, God, this is going to happen here, I think, too. Although maybe people will fight it. If a traffic camera catches you jaywalking in China, okay, so the digital ID system has you. It has your blood now. It has your genetic code. It has your photograph. It can identify how you walk. So even if you can't see a face, you can be picked up by gait. It will convict you of jaywalking and take money out of your bank account with no intermediating judiciary at all, and show a picture of you to the people in the neighborhood so they know that you have jaywalked, and reduce your social credit score. And if your social credit score falls below a certain level, then you can't You can't buy drinks from a vending machine. You can't play video games. You can't go on a train. You can't get out of your 15-minute city. All that's already in place in China.
Do you think that that would be helpful or unhelpful?
It would be, I think it would bring in, and it has already in China, I think it'll bring in a totalitarian tyranny so 100% complete that it would make George Orwell's 1984 look like a picnic. If you have digitally verified ID.
Oh man, couple things I gotta speak on. One is El Monstro said Eli or no El Monstro in the chat says, "Oh, JP is about to die soon. He is ill and will not recover." Oh, that's not cool. Okay, we need to do something about that. Jen, if we can do something about that one, please. Yeah, I'm just gonna handle that one. I just removed them from the channel, period. Don't need that kind of nonsense on the channel, bro. He is very ill, and we're bummed. We're not sure if we're hoping he's gonna make it. And he's, I think, having some kind of an autoimmune disease issue. So we'll see kind of how that goes. Yeah, so that's really wild. How are you doing today, Medi K? Nate, doing good, man. I had a dinner party last night, and I had kind of a few things going on yesterday and Friday, so I took a day and a half off, and I felt like it was forever. I don't know why. I think it's because I'm just gotten so used to talking to you guys and you know, going back and forth with you guys that I was like, it was like this thing that was missing. So I'm super happy to be back today. But thanks for asking, man. Appreciate it. Overly controlling actually can't crazy turn a move for sure. Yeah, Mark, for sure. This is super scary. What if the camera got it wrong, but they charged you anyway? Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. I mean, that's overly controlled. It's a Peter Thiel once said, America would be a better place with more surveillance because everyone would be on their best behavior. I'm happy he's in Trump's ear and sponsored Trump's birthday parade. Not sure what you're talking about there. Yeah, I did miss you guys. I really did. I'm not even kidding. It was like, I think I just got used to talking with you guys. Yeah. Two things. So one of them was that, and what was the other thing I was going to say? Oh, he just mentioned Orwell. So that's another book that I need to read, guys. So what was the book he just said? 1948. This book right here. Has anyone read this book? And welcome back, man. Good to have you. Has anyone read this book? No need to be sorry, bro. You're good. We're here to talk about whatever. He collected 200 KKK robes as trophy. What? Okay, so let me just add this book to my list that I need to buy on Amazon. Orwell 1984, because this book gets referenced a lot. Let me get a hardcover because I love hardcovers. Hardcover. And added to my list. Okay. Perfect. Not shopping list. I need to add to books to read list. Perfect. There we go. Awesome. Okay. All right. So Orwell 1984. This book is now on my list. I'm going to buy this, and who knows? Maybe we'll go through it together as I'm reading it. Darren says it was a book I read for high school. Okay. 1984 and Animal Farm. Okay, Animal Farm 2. Okay, should I put that on my list? Animal Farm hardcover. Okay. James says, I read 1984 in 1984. Oh, shit, bro. Damn, dude. Books to read. It's an OG. All right. So this book, okay. Yeah, I read 1984 in high school too. For that information, a third party. Did I read it and not even remember I read it? That's weird. I bet. And now we are living in it. I've always think 19. Should I ask ChatGPT what this is about? Orwell in 2 sentences. George Orwell's 1984 is a dystopian novel. Let me send her this angle like this. George Orwell's 1984 is a dystopian novel about a totalitarian regime led by Big Brother that uses surveillance. Okay, this is why this is relevant. Uses surveillance, censorship, and propaganda to control every aspect of citizens' lives. The story follows Winston Smith, who secretly rebels against the oppressive system in search of truth and freedom, only to be crushed by the very power he tries to resist. And I need to make my chat live chat. There we go. I forgot that. There we go. Okay. Ask it how close we are to living it. How close are we to living it? Not at living it. How close are we to living it? Let's see what it says. I asked it to compare it today with, okay, I'll look at one. Okay, it says, great question. Tell me in one sentence. We are not fully living 1984 yet, but growing surveillance, censorship, and data control shows we're edging uncomfortably to Orwell's warning. Okay. All right. So we're okay. State line says the totalitarian theocratic state, in addition to firearm restraints to get through, you only read it now. Model created. No, I haven't read it yet. Was taught in my high school, Catella. Holy K, in Torge, you went to Catella? That's awfully close to where I live, bro. Holy cow. Catella High School in Orange County? I think the book Brave New World is similar to 1984 that also was taught in high school. So, N Torge, you're from OC like me, bro. Holy cow. That's awfully close. Right on. Anaheim. Dang, bro. Yeah. Yeah, dude. Right on. Hell yeah. I was born in St. Joseph Hospital. Literally. Yeah, I was born in St. Joseph Hospital right here in the city of Orange in Orange County. Yeah, dude. I'm a native OC boy, dude. Yeah. And as Truth knows if he's on, I wrestled at Villa Park High School. And don't tell anyone, but I was in choir in junior high school. Some TMI, but it's all good. Let's go. Respect, bro. Respect. Bro, how do you now know about Palantir? I don't know. I think they're talking to each other in chat. Cool. It's similar in nature. I had friends that went to Villa Park. Yeah, bro. Right on. Hell yeah. Or ask it the similarities that we live in today to the book. I asked to compare it. Palantir is frightening. Summarize Palantir in one sentence. Pierre. No, not Pierre. Palantir is a data analytics company that builds powerful software. Are you guys talking about the company? Okay. All right, cool. All right, let's go back and we're gonna go through some more news and different stuff because we need a recap, dude. There's a lot of stuff happen, and I want a little recap. I'm actually going through this stuff with you guys. Okay, so LOL, we're asking you medication about Palantir, the company. Elon Musk, old buddy, Stabby, Animal Farm is deep. Animal Farm is deep. Okay, I added Animal Farm, so I'm gonna get those hardcovers. We'll go through those together. Again, guys, if you're just coming on the stream, I have a new addition to the studio. I got this. Where is this? Let me turn this on. I got a new addition to the stream, and this is it. So right here is the 48 Laws of Power. It's a book that I'm going to go through, and we're going to kind of go through the laws of power together. So this is the like special edition version with the kind of gold little edging right there that you see. So we're gonna go through these laws together. Like for example, this one right here says, "So much depends on reputation. Guard it with your life." Okay, so we'll go through it and see what this is all about, and I'm looking forward to it. And we'll see that Vance and Thiel have some history and connections to Palantir. That's obvious. Okay, let's keep going. And I want to hear this thing again. Okay, guys. So let's go back to this. Not this. Not this. This. I want to hear this one more time.
If you have digitally verified ID, then you run into the problems of digitally verified ID, you know, and they're running down that road in China now. So in China, for example, God, this is going to happen here, I think, too. Although maybe people will fight it. If a traffic camera catches you jaywalking in China, okay, so the digital ID system has you. It has your blood now. It has your genetic code. It has your photograph. It can identify how you walk. So even if you can't see a face, you can be picked up by gait. It will convict you of jaywalking and take money out of your bank account with no intermediating judiciary at all, and show a picture of you to the people in the neighborhood so they know that you have jaywalked, and reduce your social credit score. And if your social credit score falls below a certain level, then you can't buy drinks from a vending machine. You can't play video games. You can't go on a train.
Darren, thanks for coming, man. Appreciate you. Thanks for subscribing, buddy. Thank you. Thank you.
Can't get out of your 15-minute city. Like, all that's already in place in China.
Do you think that would be helpful or unhelpful?
It would be, I think it would bring in, and it has already in China, I think it'll bring in a totalitarian tyranny so 100% complete that it would make George Orwell's 1984 look like a picnic. If you have digitally verified ID.
It makes me want to read that book so bad now. Now I almost want to stop reading what I'm reading to read that. I got to finish these books, bro. Holy cow. All right. Social credit score is democracy, someone says. Okay. Please explain. Love to know more about why you feel that way. All right. Now, let's go to
will
this.
not tolerate the disrespect of our Prophet, peace be upon him, and there will be outcomes from your actions. You will have repercussions for your actions. We have been trained from birth that we must defend the honor of our Prophet, and we will lay our life on the line.
Okay, you know, the other argument is, okay, so if you don't like it here, go to your own country.
But why would we do that when our forefathers were instrumental in rebuilding this country after World War II? It was our grandfathers who worked in the factories 20 hours. It was our grandfathers who came here and run the infrastructure. It was our grandfathers who bought you the lovely curry, which is your national dish. So how can you tell us to go? We're not going nowhere. We are here to stay. Like I say, we're not here to take part. We're here to take over.
I love it.
Is this for real, dude? Like, sometimes I wonder if these are taken out of context, but I can't help but think these are legitly, these are like, this is how they feel. Is this real? This is nuts. Yeah, bro. And do do they really think their fathers were the ones that rebuilt England? They are for real? State line, dude. This is nuts, bro. This is out of control. I got this one here, and I don't know, State line, if you want this to be, a little segue, we'll have it come on for just a little bit. It doesn't have to be like a super long discussion or whatever, or it could be whatever you want it to be. But if you want to come on and talk about this next one a little bit, because this one is something I didn't know much about, and I'm kind of learning about this now. So you guys check this out and tell me what your thoughts are about this. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Do you think Starmer is a coward?
Now, for those of you that may not know, Starmer is the Prime Minister of England. Like the clip that we just saw of those guys that are talking about taking over England and Islam and, the people from the Middle East that are just, they call it immigration. We call it mass invasion. So Starmer is the PM of that country, right?
Do you think Starmer is a coward? You're probably an idiot if you do. He's arguably one of the most bravest British patriots in history. He's brave enough to build a Chinese Communist Party fortress in London and call it an embassy. Not many people know this, but Starmer was literally placed in a Czech communist working camp at the height of the Cold War. It's documented. You could fact check me. He wasn't just passing through. He pledged allegiance to communist circles. He got training and was groomed from a very early point in the ways of Marxism. So, no, he's not a coward. He's brave. He's brave enough to hand over Britain's capital to Beijing despite overwhelming British opposition. Most British people do not want it. He'll do it anyway. I think you could say he's brave, yes. You see, after recognizing a Palestinian state, the very next move is helping the Chinese Communist Party build what experts call a super embassy in the middle of London. Not a regular embassy, the largest diplomatic mission in Europe, over 600,000 square feet, offices, tunnels.
Wow.
Think homes for hundreds of literal CCP agents sitting right on top of London's fiber optic cables. You call that diplomacy? That's a military.
For those of you wondering what CCP is, because you keep saying that's Chinese Communist Party
headquarters, okay, in the middle of London. They're going to have the power to spy on the UK economy, its allies, even the Five Eyes intelligence network. And Starmer didn't just allow it. No, that wasn't enough. No, he personally intervened to push it through. When Xi Jinping, the leader of China, calls, Starmer answers like a good boy, like a lapdog of the CCP. He overruled local councils in England and told his deputies to ram it through the system. So when Starmer waves this Palestinian flag one week with his fake virtue signaling and welcomes the CCP the next, don't be fooled. It's all a part of a communist plan. Destroy Britain, make the CCP powerful, and make London a colony of the Chinese Communist Party. Do you get it yet? If you do, share it with a friend. Do you?
So a couple people are going sounding in the comments. Someone said he's a coward. Someone says London has fallen. That's Jennifer. Sanders says this is just BS. I hate Starmer, but this is stupid. Sander, tell us how you know this is BS. This is something that I'm learning about and I'm curious about and I want to learn more about. Probably you guys do too. Every country has spies. Yep. Darren says another topic to check out is Tavistock Institute in Social Engineering. I don't know if State Line, maybe you know about that or not. Wilma says truth. Sounds like this dude is deep in conspiracy theories. Spike, tell us why you feel that way. CCP is going to have to compete with the Muslims for London. I think one of the thoughts is that they are learning from how Islam has worked its way into power in the West. I think that's what the idea is here. What was it again? State Line says they've been convinced to delete. Sure. Oh, okay. What was it? Okay. Let me refresh that. Thank you, Jen. Thank you guys for subscribing and liking. Thank you so much. It really helps. That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much. Stabby says CCP is going to have to compete with. Yeah, so that was for that. Weird. And the U.S. is allowing a Qatar military base on U.S. Yes, that's another thing that I thought I saved somewhere, but I don't see it right now. But maybe if someone sends it on my IG, I can pull it up. Nah, all of this is obfuscation for their own government criminal behavior. Love to learn more about that, Mr. Rock and Rolla. El Rock and Rolla. Sanders says, why would a passerby have the power to convince a proud country to be a communist dog for China? And why would they? Yeah. A lot of questions. State Line, do you want to come and be a guest speaker for a little bit and tell us a little more about this stuff? Where's Epstein file? Here we go. Another Epstein lover. Thank you, Prater. Odd, I'm on my laptop, so I see the chat on your screen and the chat to the side. There are a lot of people I don't see their comments. Weird. So that's why I put this up. So guys, if you're looking on your different devices, you're gonna see right here is Instagram chat up here. And then down here is YouTube chat. Obviously, YouTube chat, it's a lot more active. That's why a lot of people actually go from Instagram, they start watching on YouTube. Okay, so I'm gonna call State Line and see if this works out. So hang on, guys. Reverse transition. State Line reverse transition back to Instagram. He did. I know. Let's try this. Hang on. Let me call State Line. Allow while visiting the site. My camera is off. Start call. Can you guys hear that?
Hello? Can you hear me, bro?
What's up, dude? How are you? Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me?
And
I can hear you. I'm not sure if you can hear me. Can you guys hear State Line?
I can hear you.
Damn, Jen's like, State Line.
We got a connection?
What's that? Hello?
Yeah, I can see like lag on my end.
Yeah, you might have a little lag on your end, but dude, that's so cool. We're talking to State Line, bro. You guys are hearing his voice for the first time. I told State Line, I go, dude, you have a cool, because I heard his voice once. I was like, bro, you sound like John Goodman kind of. Dude, State Line, talk to these guys. They want to hear your voice, man.
Hey, so I'm trying to fight.
It's cutting in and out, man. We can't really hear your voice for some reason. Maybe it's the internet connection. I wonder maybe if it's better if we, do like an actual phone call or something like that.
Yeah, if you want to try it.
Oh, that's better. Now it's better.
It's better?
Yes.
You want me to just preface kind of start to...
Yeah, I'm gonna try and shut up because maybe that's what's causing the kind of problems with the phone. But go ahead. You go ahead and tell us a little bit about what your thoughts are on this stuff.
All right, so let me preface this by starting out in 1992. Oops. All right.
Okay. Were you talking?
The UN held an Earth Summit in Rio de Janeiro where 179 member countries ended up signing off an agreement on what is called the Agenda 21, which is the precursor to Agenda 2030. Am I coming through?
Yeah, you're coming through now.
Okay.
But you just cut out again. Hello?
All right. So I'm still fighting through the lag. I'm waiting for myself to be done talking so I can talk again. Sorry about that, guys. And in 2024, they signed off on what's called the Global Digital Compact, which sets a stage for all this digital. Now,
I
while
think
it doesn't
I think you got to
necessarily say
turn
that
off
every
your
country is going to adopt this, it
I think you
does
got to
set
turn
the
off your
stage for all the
stream
framework that
so you
we're
don't hear
seeing
yourself.
nowadays with this technocratic state that we're seeing with all the surveillance, censorship, and then everything else we're seeing across the nation, across the world. Oh, turn off my stream. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be easier if you turn off your stream so you don't hear your own voice, and then that way you could just be chatting with us, and then you could go back to it. Join call.
All right. Is this working better?
Yeah, that's cleaner, bro.
Medi, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I can hear you. We all hear you.
Okay, better now. I just ended up having to end the call just because of that. So you got where I said that this all started in '92 with Agenda 21 action with this 179 countries all signing off an agreement, and then fast forward to 2024, the Global Digital Compact, where this sets a framework for everything that we're seeing now as far as all the surveillance state that we have. So to kind of, I guess, go a little bit further. So right now there's at least 15, possibly 17 countries that have been adopting this already, or they already, like China itself has already laid the framework that's already in progress. It's going on. We have legislation coming through on our end also that is also enabling all this as we speak. So in conjunction with that UK video, you see that it's already happening in the UK in dramatic effect. It's not coincidental. I don't know if anybody's noticed by the recent election we had here, having kind of a different changing of the guard in politics. It seemed to kind of avert itself away from us. Maybe that's by design. Maybe that's coincidental.
What averted itself away from us?
Well, so all our Western allies, let's say UK, France, Germany, a lot of European nations are the ones that are being bombarded by Islam. They're being, you're seeing a lot of this stuff enacted already over there, and it looks like it's 10 times worse the volume that we're seeing here, right? And I don't think that's a mistake. Those countries don't have the same kind of barriers that we do, specifically our Constitution, our Second Amendment rights, and then the will of the American people. So it's a bit of a slow game if you want to try and adopt it into this country in the way that's going to be probably most effective from their standpoint without creating mass chaos, panic, and whatever else might come from that.
Yep. I'm going to stop you for 1 second because someone else also just mentioned that you sound like John Goodman.
Oh, God.
Alexander Supertramp. And then someone else said, do I know you from Whiteout something? Whiteout Survival? Min says, do I know you from Whiteout Survival? So you definitely got the voice, bro. So sorry, man. Didn't mean to interrupt, but keep going.
No, so and this is weird that UK is probably in a bit of a different situation because of not having the same setup that we do. So to kind of piggyback off of their Islamic invasion going on there, validity to Starmer creating this new embassy that could be used as a military hub for the CCP. You got to think in respect to what we have going on here. What is it, about 380,000 acres of farmland owned by Chinese? Land ownership near strategic Air Force bases. They have a lot of ownership and control over corporations in the U.S. So I'm not saying that this is going to be the same method of approach as you're seeing in UK, but it's surely a possibility. But as far as UK relates to, I work with a network of people from coast to coast, border to border, and we've been compiling data over long periods of time. Like I've been doing this for decades. Some of them have been doing it for years, but we all have our own, I guess, areas of expertise on this. And a lot of this seems like, I don't know how this got to be, but maybe something was said, move to these countries, move to these cities, move to do this, without thinking about the fact that this could be a trap for all of us. It could be a trap for themselves as well. It's a way to destabilize us. It's a way to minimize, let's say, Caucasian culture, Western society. So maybe that'll do its part. And then if the technocratic state comes into effect, you've got all these people right where you want them in these technologically advanced cities, and you can tighten the noose on them, so to speak. And now you've got everybody pretty much where you want them, where they otherwise wouldn't have been able to come there with the immigration laws in place. So, not
Yeah.
saying that's us, but that's definitely a possibility coming down the road. But we are seeing it unfold across the world.
We definitely got a taste of it, and I think obviously, Donald Trump has done things to kind of either slow it down or kind of put a kink in it in a way. My question, a question that I had is, you mentioned the farmland that Chinese were buying in America. Is it true that we're putting a stop to that, or we're reversing that, or because I heard something come across about that? Do you know anything about that?
Yeah, I'm familiar with it being addressed in certain places. And so Texas is a big one of them. They actually have a Sharia law city, right? I think it's in the Houston area, where they're actually, you have to be a member of that mosque in order to live there. And they already practice Sharia law within it. And so just imagine if you target Texas first and go for those
But
electoral
hang on,
votes.
this is the Chinese buying farmland.
Oh,
Right?
so Chinese buying farmland.
Is that being addressed, or is that something that, because I thought I heard something in the news about they're trying to pass something that will not allow that. Is that true, you think, or do you know anything about that?
There's been speculation about it. I've seen some of the same things you're referring to, but I can't help but think this is just because you got to figure the government can keep ahead of us just by how we converse on social media. So the more we bring things up, the easier it is for them to counter it. So there's no way to tell unless the legislation goes into effect, whether or not it's really going to do its job, or whether or not you can even uncover half the stuff that we know to be, existent anyway. So I think it's more a political theater at this point, that I wouldn't take too seriously. Because
Okay.
we don't know what a lot of this farm acreage is used for. But the ones near the strategic Air Force bases, if you look at them, they were absolutely worthless plots of land that were purchased for obscene amounts of money beyond the market price. To what end? Why would you want unusable farmland or anything you can't build on? However, it's proximity to some of these key bases that would absolutely cripple us if they got attacked.
Gotcha. And then someone in the chat is asking, which city were you talking about with the Sharia law?
It's called Epic.
So
if you look it up, yeah, it's Epic, and I believe it's a suburb of Houston. And actually, one of their law enforcement facilities backs right up to this, and they said it's complete with a watchtower in this neighborhood overlooking the police facility itself.
I'm looking up Epic right now. There's something that says Epic Systems, but I think is that piping, or Epic develops software to help people get well? No, that's a software company.
Try Epic Sharia Law, Texas.
Sharia Law, Texas. Okay. AI is saying this. It says background on Epic City. Okay, it says an epic Sharia law controversy unfolded in Texas concerning a planned Muslim-centric community and the state's response. Background on Epic City. The East Plano Islamic Center, Epic, okay, that's what it is. East Plano Islamic City.
Yep.
Plano, yeah. Announced plans for a mixed-use development called Epic City, or Epic Ranches City, in Josephine, Texas, near Dallas. The 400-acre project would include thousands of homes, a mosque, an Islamic school, commercial developments, and recreational facilities. Allegations of Sharia law and discrimination. Texas officials, including Governor Greg Abbott and Senator John, expressed concern that the development would enforce Sharia law and discriminate against non-Muslims. In April, Senator called on U.S. Department of Justice to investigate. I'm kind of just going through quickly here. March, several state investigations into Epic for include potential fraud. Okay. Legal action. Okay, U.S. Department of Justice in June it closed its civil rights investigations without filing any charges. So it looks like it's saying here in June 2025, Department of Justice closed its civil rights investigation without filing charges. State investigation. In September 2025, 2 months ago, Texas Workforce Commission dismissed a fair housing complaint against Epic as part of a settlement. The developer agreed to undergo fair housing training. Texas law is banning Sharia compounds, and the current status, despite the new Texas law, Epic City's attorney has indicated that the development is continuing. What do you think about that?
Well, and I think that there's a lot of civil liberties or civil rights issues involved in that, which is why they kind of have to toe the line with this. There's actually a good interview. I believe it's a local Plano. I don't know if he's part of the sheriff's office or what, if he's the chief or the sheriff or whatever, but he actually is in a board meeting speaking on this. If you can find that video, it might show you more of their concerns moving forward with this, especially with its situation and where, like I said, it overlooks a pretty significant police facility. So I just think it's going to be one of those issues that's going to go back and forth for who knows how long, just because of the civil rights aspect of it.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So I've actually heard about this before, and I saw a lot of things in the news about their development while they were developing it, and they're still developing it as we speak. It's not built yet. It's in the process. So definitely something for us to keep an eye out for. And then this whole thing with what they're building in the middle of London for the Chinese Communist Party, is that so? You're aware of that? You think that's a real thing happening out there?
I do believe it is. What I don't understand is the Chinese collusion in their government. But then again, I mean, to reflect back to when they had that parade, they pretty much said there's going to be a global restructuring and dominance leading by the BRICS nations, and that's going to play a role in this. And this could be part of what we're seeing emerging from that. So like, think about digital ID being in place in China as it is already right now. So there was a BBC journalist named John Sudworth that went into China. I don't remember when it was, but they tracked him within a matter of 7 minutes of getting off that plane to where they surrounded him and then escorted him out of the building. So that's how fast digital ID can actually come around and track people from facial recognition software and everything. It doesn't give you a very long window of time, from bang to bullet, so to speak, when it actually touches down wherever it touches down.
Yeah. Okay, so that's a lot of that's big. It's something I had no idea about, but it's on my radar big time. I'm going to be looking into this, and now that I saw Nima posting, the video that you shared with me, that's very interesting, because I know Nima is not he doesn't just go post anything. You know what I mean? So
right.
The fact that he posted what we just watched together, all of us watched together, that tells me that there's something legitimate to this. So, dude, thanks for sharing that, and I appreciate you coming on, man. That was great.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Definitely, bro. Anytime, man. I was so glad to hear your voice. I was like, oh my God, bro, this guy.
I figured it was easier than typing. My fingers are so shot from everything. I'm like, yeah, I'll just start sending voice things through here. But another thing, hey, if we can start thinking in this direction, is maybe we might want to think about collaboratively starting to petition our government as to what's really going on here. It's the least we can do right now to gauge what the reaction is going to be, to see what direction we're really headed in, because we're going to get maybe 1 of 4 responses: nothing at all, something that is used against us, or it's going to be a combination of here's the truth, half truths. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, we need to start somewhere by our constitution or democratic process. And that might be a starting point just to try and see if we can get ahead of this before it gets to be too late.
Yeah, I just don't know if they're gonna pay attention, and if they do, are they gonna tell us anything? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
And that's the
I'm
situation
down.
we're in.
I just signed a petition today in California. NTORJ is in California. Now that I know that, there's a petition going around that's is like to require identification for voting, because in California, bro, we're out of our minds. Apparently, we don't find it necessary to to show your ID to vote. So,
well, I'm in the next alternative. I'm in Illinois, so you know how that goes. We're stuck in this together, brother.
Yeah, for sure, bro. For sure, we're in two blue radical states, bro. It's crazy. It's crazy. But dude, thanks again. You sound like John Goodman, man. You have a great voice, bro. You got to come on more often. I love it.
Hey, anytime you want to have me, it's a pleasure, brother. I appreciate being here. Thanks for having me.
Hell yeah, bro. Right on, right on. Thanks again, dude.
All right, take care.
I'll see you. All right, later. Bye. Guys, that was great, man. Now you know what his voice sounds like. Isn't that cool? Holy cow. Isn't that cool? Jen, you signed it too? Hell yeah. Yeah, I signed it yesterday. I have a picture of the guy that was where I signed it. First I looked up and I go, oh God, here we go again. Not another wacky, lefty trying to get me to like, have less ID requirements or something like that. But no, they're actually asking for more. That was good, dude. Guys, give it up for State Line, bro. How about that voice? Pretty good, right? Fucking guys sound just like, I'm not kidding. You get John Goodman in there big time. Nate says, I need Illinois to be a red state. We need Cali, bro. We need Cali. Orange County was almost red. It was red. And then in the last few days, actually after the deadline, they found some magical votes to make it blue. Yeah, bro, it sucks. Anyway, we're going to watch this one more time. This is what we were just talking about, State Line and I. That was State Line on the phone, and that's who we're talking about. I mean, this is what we're talking about right here.
Do you think Starmer is a coward? You're probably an idiot if you do. He's arguably one of the most bravest British patriots in history. He's brave enough to build a Chinese Communist Party fortress in London and call it an embassy. Not many people know this, but Starmer was literally placed in a Czech communist working camp at the height of the Cold War. It's documented. You could fact check me. He wasn't just passing through. He pledged allegiance to communist circles. He got training and was groomed from a very early point in the ways of Marxism. So, no, he's not a coward. He's brave. He's brave enough to hand over Britain's capital to Beijing despite overwhelming British opposition. Most British people do not want it. He'll do it anyway. I think you could say he's brave, yes. You see, after recognizing a Palestinian state, the very next move is helping the Chinese Communist Party build what experts call a super embassy in the middle of London. Not a regular embassy, the largest diplomatic mission in Europe, over 600,000 square feet, offices, tunnels. Think homes for hundreds of literal CCP agents sitting right on top of London's fiber optic cables. You call that diplomacy? That's a military headquarters, okay, in the middle of London. They're going to have the power to spy on the UK economy, its allies, even the Five Eyes intelligence network. And Starmer didn't just allow it. No, that wasn't enough. No, he personally intervened to push it through. When Xi Jinping, the leader of China, calls, Starmer answers like a good boy, like a lapdog of the CCP. He overruled local councils in England and told his deputies to ram it through the system. So when Starmer waves this Palestinian flag one week with his fake virtue signaling and welcomes the CCP the next, don't be fooled. It's all a part of a communist plan. Destroy Britain, make the CCP powerful, and make London a colony of the Chinese Communist Party. Do you get it yet? If you do, share it with a friend.
Okay, a couple things. We have both Tamaras today in the chat, so that's interesting, and they're opposite to each other, I think. El Rock and Rolla is definitely has an opinion on a lot of things. He's asking me to Google stuff. Who was it that said California will never turn red? I know it's we're dreaming, but we'll see. Draco says Cali was red until Reagan gave amnesty to illegal aliens. El Rock and Rolla still got some more. Avoiding the facts. Let's see. We need Cali bad. Oh, Tamara Escobar says California will never turn red. Ha 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 ha. I think she, right? Tamara is a girl, loves it. I think Tamara is a girl. Tamara Escobar. Don't want to misgender you. Cluck says, what is this nonsense? It's us having a conversation. Hopefully Dumpy Trumpy doesn't tariff you hair growth serum, little guy. Coffee Lust. Oh, thanks for reminding me to have some more coffee. This is to Coffee Lust. Thank you, Coffee. Thank you for talking about my hair. It's funny, I don't have to talk about my hair. You do it for me. Look, it's beautiful. Look at that. Did you like that, Coffee Lust? Thank you. She says, hopefully he doesn't tariff your hair. Truth just joined. What's up, buddy? Glad to have you. And Truth, you missed State Line. We had State Line on, bro. State Line was just on. We just heard his voice. He's got a good voice, dude. He sounds like John Goodman. El Rock and Rolla keeps telling us that conservative Christian law is Sharia conservative law. You're all coping with state-funded PSYOP propaganda. Damn, Truth, you missed it, bro. He was just on for for a while. He was talking to us about some stuff, and it was great. Dude, he has a good voice. He's made for this too. Honestly, I liked it. I'm gonna get him on more. Yeah, dude. Yeah. If you can't tell I'm a woman or a man, you have bigger problems, dude. Hilarious. Your picture is really small, Tamara, and I if I'm not mistaken, you got really short hair. So we don't really know these days, with lefties, we have a hard time, and we don't want to misgender you and have you throw a hissy fit and get your panties in a bunch. You know what I mean? So, or your boxers in a bunch. Josh Alley says, what's up, Medication? I'm back like DJ Khaled. Another one. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Yeah, bro. Thanks for coming back, bro. Good to have you. Rock and Rolla says, prove me wrong. Sharia law is an interesting thing, man. You're trying to tell us that Sharia law is the same thing as something that's, you said conservative law? We don't have conservative law. We just have United States laws. I don't know why you keep saying conservative. State Line says there's never been any modern day enforcement to Christianity, unlike Sharia law. Yeah, that's my point. I guess State Line and I just said the same thing. We don't have a Christian law. We have United States of America law. We're not putting Christian on top of you and saying you have to do this thing. So I don't know why you El Rock and Rolla keep saying these things. So it really is not making much sense. Sharia law is very different. It's not the same as who has Christian law? Please help us understand. Truth says conservative law is just actually expecting the laws already on the books to be enforced. That's pretty. That's a pretty well said, bro. To be honest, that's pretty solid. That's very, very clear, and that is exactly what it is. Conservatives just want our laws to be upheld. That's why when we have immigration laws, we would like them to be upheld. Uphold our immigration laws. You know what I'm saying? So I think Truth is very right. Conservative, if there is such a thing as conservative law, I think what you mean is the conservative ideology is that we want the laws to be upheld. El Rock'n'Rolla, why are you afraid to Google it? Because you're not making sense. That's why. Because you're talking about conservative law, and there's no conservative law, bro. There's just law. And then there's this whole different thing called Sharia law. And so that's what it is. Sharia law, right? Should we look at Sharia law here? Should we look at Sharia law? What is Sharia law in one sentence? Sharia law is a system of religious principles derived from the Quran and Hadith and governs both personal conduct and aspects of legal social life. For Muslims, which could be for you, Americans, and those of you in England, sorry, and many other countries. I'll tell you what, many of the countries that have Muslim laws or Sharia laws are not excited about them, and that's why they leave those places and come here. They come to the West. They come to the West, and then it's crazy because they want to make the West like the places that they left. And I could play the video for you, but we've all heard it a million times. But I feel like El Rock'n'Rolla needs to hear it. What do you guys think? Should I play it for Rock'n'Rolla or no? Because it seems like he's confused. No, I didn't ask for the definition. I said Google for the similarities of what? Of something that doesn't exist? Conservative law? Yeah. Play it for him. Nate says yes. Let's play it for him. Huh? Let's do it. I think he wants to see it.
As an Iranian, I'm just so sad that we have so many brainwashed people on the other side, siding with jihadis and terrorists, because they don't know the realities of living on the Islamic Republic or on the terrorism. As an Iranian, I'm just so sad that we have...
I just stumbled on this one. Eunice always
so many
hits it home.
Brainwashed people.
Let's play it for him. Big problem. Very big. Yeah, bro. Let's play it for him. Here we go. And by the way, El Rock'n'Rolla. You can find these on my Instagram, bro. Feel free to like them and comment on them. But here, these are yours. This one has 2.5 million views, bro. Look at this. Look at this bad boy. This is for you right here. You see that Rock'n'Rolla? I don't know why I like saying that. But this is for you, bro. You see this one right here in the middle? It says Muslims got cooked. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Muslims living with Sikhs. Problem. Muslims living with Hindus. Problem. Muslims living with Baha'is. Problem. Muslims living with Shintos. Problem. Muslims living with Buddhists. Problem. Muslims living with Christians. Problem. Muslims living with Muslims. Very big problem. So this led to, they're not happy in Gaza. They're not happy in Egypt. They're not happy in Libya. They're not happy in Iran. They're not happy in Iraq. They're not happy in Yemen. They're not happy in Pakistan. They're not happy in Syria. They're not happy in Lebanon. They're not happy in Nigeria. They're not happy in Kenya. They're not happy in Sudan. They're not happy in Morocco. And they're not happy in Afghanistan. So where are they happy? They're happy in Australia. They're happy in Belgium. They're happy in France. They're happy in Holland. They're happy in Italy. They're happy in Germany. They're happy in Spain. They're happy in Sweden. They're happy in Denmark. They're happy in the USA and Canada. They're happy in Norway and India. They're very happy in England. Loads of welfare benefits. They're happy in almost every country that is not Islamic. And who do they blame? Not Islam. Not their leadership. Not themselves. They blame the countries they are happy in. And they want to change the countries they're happy in to be like the countries they came from where they were not happy. Muslim.
So they're not even happy with their own stuff. So rock and roller, let's just he's spamming the chat. So we're giving him attention, or her, or it, or they, or Zeezer. Let's just clear something up. He's asking us to Google Christian law and see the similarities with Christian law and Sharia law. The reason why I don't even care to Google that, because where is it that there is such a thing as Christian law? We don't have a Christian law. So who cares about similarities between Christian law and conservative law? Secondly, looking up similarities between two things does not show you the differences, which are the things that we're probably the most worried about. Okay? So let's just start right there. Second of all, or third, similarity, we want to know about the other things that are different. Second of all, I mean, you're again, rock and roll, you're not paying attention to what I'm saying, bro. Use your brain, use your ears, and listen. We don't have Christian law. We have United States laws. It doesn't matter if Sharia law is similar to some other law. We don't care. We're just worried about the parts of Sharia law and Sharia law in general, and what comes along with that. We don't even care what the similarities are. If there are similarities to Christian law, which I don't know where you're getting Christian law or where that's, Min is right. Min is absolutely right. Here we go.
Beta, beta.
And then
Beta male.
Are
you out of your cotton picking mind?
There you go. State Line says the difference is that Christians don't have to adhere to laws unlike Sharia.
So you gay? I didn't know you were gay. What the? That's amazing.
Okay. Let's keep going. All right. We are worried about Sharia law and what comes along with it. And they left their countries because they're not happy with it themselves, guys. It's just, I mean, it is what it is. They're just not happy with it. And they come here and then they want to make this like their countries. It's crazy, dude. JLP.
So
baby.
you gay?
Dude's trying to have us Google what are the similarities.
I didn't know you were gay. That's amazing.
That's amazing.
So you gay? That's amazing.
So dude's trying to have us look up similarities between the two. No, we're worried about the bad differences, the things that we don't agree with. Why would you see? You're messing with us, bro. You're in la la land, bro. All right. Oh, I just closed one of them again on accident. Here we go. Let's just do this one.
In themselves. And finally, Clown Lemon gave an interview and was hit with the brutal truth. And all these stories.
Katie Porter snappings, they have been heard around the world. And I think that Katie Porter's making history because she has potentially annihilated her chances to be the next governor of California, more so than any other candidate I've ever seen so quickly. My goodness gracious, what are we talking about right here? Well, let's take a look. Chance to be the next California governor. According to the Kalshi prediction market, Katie Porter's chances have fallen through the floor. Just 2 days ago, she was the plurality leader in the prediction markets at 40%. Now, get this, her chance has fallen by more than half to just 16%. My goodness gracious. Meanwhile, Alex Padilla, who's not even running for governor.
Oh, Walter Davis said something. No, I'm serious. Why do you think so many gay people support Muslims? Walter, you said something, bro. Gay people love the Middle East. It's the hottest. And I forgot. I was going to call it out, bro. Walter, what'd you say, man? That's what I spaced on it. Well, he did say most people that follow a prophet that married a 15-year-old are miserable. Oh, this is what I wanted. Guys, this is what Walter said. Because the other day we're talking about Islam and someone said, oh, Islam, the countries that are run by Islam are so great. It was up until like when we started meddling that, you know, we turned them into what they are. And it's like, no, they weren't. Like Walter said, I know this because I had Iraqi friends, bro, that their family, they wouldn't stop telling me about their families and friends that were killed in Iraq for pretty much nothing. Conspiracies. And Walter just called it out. He says, in Iraq, I watched a woman get stoned to death off a mere rumor that she threw away a Quran. By hundreds of dudes, she tried to escape to the rooftop where she fell into the crowd. Walter, I heard about a lot of that kind of stuff, man. He says, go to the Middle East, come back and tell me that Muslims don't have a problem with gay people. Yeah. Walter says, I've served time in Iraq, Qatar, Yemen, and Afghanistan. Welcome, bro. Welcome. There's a lot of people here that have served. Thank you. Thank you for serving, man. Awesome drop in the porter polls. Yeah. Yep. He says, these people do not like you or your sexual preferences. State Line says, same here, brother. I think State Line also served. I don't know. Did you possibly serve in some of those the places he mentioned? I don't know. I'm going to go here. I want to put this bad boy on for us so we can get warmed up, and then we're going to jump into some more.
If you ask 100 people on the street, what kind of government is America supposed to be? 99% of them will tell you a democracy. But that's a lie. The word democracy is not written into If you ask 100 people on the street, what kind of government is America supposed to be? 99% of them will tell you a democracy. But that's a lie. The word democracy is not written into the Constitution at one time. It's not in the Bill of Rights. It's not in the Declaration of Independence. The Founding Fathers hated the idea of a democracy. They thought it was the worst form of government there is. And I agree with them. Because in a democracy, 51% of the people control 49% of the people. If you're part of the 49%, you're not free. America was founded as a constitutional republic. And in that constitutional republic that we have, 99% of the people can't take away the rights of 1%. You have your rights because you were born with them, human rights that nobody can take away from you. The government, the majority, no matter who they are, I can't take away your rights. And that's what our founding fathers gave us. But the psychological operations that they do to us, they make us believe that we're a democracy and that majority rules, you see? And they want you to believe that. Because then they tell you this poll says this many want this and this many want that and this many want this, and it doesn't have anything to do with anything. You hear George Bush saying democracy means freedom. No, democracy equals New World Order. Democracy equals slavery. The word democracy is not synonymous with freedom. It's the opposite of freedom. Democracy is the worst form of government you can have because it's majority rule. And the government can tell you exactly what they want to tell you to do because the majority wants it. I don't care what the majority wants. I live my life as I choose. And if I don't commit violence, theft, or fraud against another human being, I can live my life as I wish. That's my choice. And if I'm allowed to make mistakes, because when you make mistakes, you learn from them.
Yep.
You grow as a human being. We're put on this earth to become the best individuals we can be, right? We're not here to put on this earth so the government can tell us how to live our lives and what we must do. We put into these systems and these paradigms. No. If you
Oh, dang. Yeah, State Line says he called it out. Iraq and Afghanistan. Wow. Yeah, holy cow. That's part of the agenda. It's a republic, bro. It's a republic. Yes, sir. You wouldn't believe how many people scream democracy in the states, yet when they travel and get in trouble, they want the republic to save them. Exactly, bro. Exactly. That's not even the worst. Walter says that's not even the worst part of the story. The worst part is that Iraqi policy stood there and police stood there and watched and did nothing, and she laid there for 3 days. Wow, bro. Wow, bro. That's crazy, dude. What the hell? What the hell? State Lines on YouTube. Aquariums is truth. He came over to this side. And Torge is right. We're in a constitutional republic. Yes, yes, we are. Even though it's so easy to cut them down, I don't know what I have to read up, but all right, dude, hell yeah, we're all on here. I'm almost at 70K on Instagram. We're a couple away from 70K. We're at 69.9. All right, so we keep moving. Let's keep going. I want to learn. I want to see, guys, the Devori did what's her name's thing, and he put it together. Was it Devori or who was it? Was it Devori? No, it was someone else. You know who it was? It was Gutfeld. It was Gutfeld that did it. And we want to see that real quick. Where's Gutfeld, dude? Okay. Gutfeld. I think it's, is it this one?
So something's off with today.
So I want to watch this so we can get on, so you guys can remember Katie Porter, and then we'll go and see what will happen with her and all that. Yes, let's do it.
Today's Democrats. Take Katie Porter, who's running for governor of California. She's the left's latest ray of sunshine. And like the sun, looking directly at her will damage your eyes.
What do you say to the 40% of California voters who you'll need in order to win, who voted for Trump?
How would I need them in order to win, man?
Well, unless you think you're going to get 60% of, so you don't
I
think
feel like this is unnecessarily argumentative. What is your question?
Okay, I'll look into that. Remind me, Aquariums. Remind me.
Well, to those voters. Okay, so you...
I don't want to keep doing this. I'm going to call.
This is good. Hold on. I got to see this right from here.
Damage your eyes.
What do you say to the 40% of California voters who you'll need in order to win, who voted for Trump?
How would I need them in order to win, man?
Well, unless you think you're going to get 60% of, so you don't
I
think...
feel like this is unnecessarily argumentative. What is your question?
Well, to those voters. Okay, so you...
I don't want to...
Unnecessarily argumentative.
I feel like this is unnecessarily argumentative.
60% of, so you don't think...
I feel like this is unnecessarily argumentative. What is your question?
Well, to those voters. Okay, so you...
Draco, bro, she did. She wanted to reach over and grab her by the neck, bro. You could totally see it. She's nuts, bro. We're gonna see it just now. Watch this.
I don't want to keep doing this. I'm gonna call it.
You're not gonna do the interview with us?
Nope, not like this. I'm not. Not with 7 follow-ups to every single question you ask.
It's no surprise she freaked when she heard 40%, since that's her level of body fat.
James, is it a new one? With Tucker Carlson and President of Poland, is it this guy that I made this video of? Is it our hero, bro, from Poland? Dang, I can't believe I made this that long ago. She is a space cadet moron. Yeah, dude. Where is it? What the hell? These are my reels. Huh. Oh, here it is. Not sure. Is it this guy? Do you remember? Is it this guy?
Taken. How many refugees has Poland taken?
0.
And you're proud of that?
If you are asking me about Muslims' illegal immigration, none, not even one, will come to Poland. Not even one if it's illegal. We took over 2 million Ukrainians who are...
We got Robert Wingate thinking that he's a tough guy. Should we give him his sound piece? Here you go.
Beta, beta.
That's for you, bro.
Beta.
Robert Wingate.
Beta male. So you're gay? I didn't know you were gay. What the? That's amazing. That's amazing.
Come on, bro. Come on, Robert.
Beta male.
Beta male.
Beta male. Are you out of
Your
your cotton picking
mind?
mind? Are you out of your cotton picking mind? Satan is your daddy, woman.
This is for Robert Wingate.
Satan is your daddy, woman.
Oh, dude. Satan is your daddy, woman.
Satan is your daddy, woman. Beta male.
Thanks for doing that, bro. You got us laughing a little bit. Okay, so was it James that was mentioning that? James, do you know if it was this guy, bro, by chance, or you don't know?
Working who are peacefully.
Is it this guy?
How many refugees has Poland taken?
0.
And you're proud of that?
If you are asking me about Muslims' illegal immigration, none, not even one, will come to Poland. Not even one if it's illegal. We took over 2 million Ukrainians who are working, who are peaceful in Poland.
The part that comes up next where he says, you can call me a racist, you can call it nationalist, you can call me this, you can call me that. I care about my family and my country. Listen to this.
We will not receive even one Muslim because this is what we promised.
But I asked not about illegal immigrants. I asked about refugees. And Jean-Claude Juncker, the Commission President, says that you're racist. You sound proud of the fact that you haven't taken any refugees.
Of course, because this is what our people are expecting from our government. That's number one. This is why our government was elected. But this is why Poland is so safe. This is the reason why we had not even one terrorist attack. Look at the streets in Poland. And we can be called populists, nationalists, racists. I don't care. I care about my family and about my country.
How many refugees has...
I don't care. I care about my family and my country. Beautifully said, buddy. Beautifully said. That one just hits so hard for me, and there's no wonder why that video has 5.4 million views, guys. There is no wonder. Look at that. Look at that video right there in the middle of your screen. 5.4 million. Why? Because it hits home for everybody, bro. Aquarium says, I sent some videos on IG. I'm going to try to pull those up without showing your stuff, Aquarium. So... which one should I put on? Oh, shoot. This is, but it's sensitive, bro. I don't know if I could play it. It's about the children in Afghanistan. Yeah, I don't know if I could play it, bro. Any of them? Yeah, I just don't know if I could play that.
اگر موافقه خانم باشه موافقه میکنم کلیش او اجازه داد نگاه میکن در غیر میگه
یعنی تا حالت هم میشه که خانم‌ها اجازه بده شوهرایشون
ما ایتوسته که در افغانستان گرچه اوتو نیسته که کسی گپ خانمش کار کنه ولی من
I was going to say that he'd keep a boy for bachabazi. Okay, so because I speak Farsi, I actually understand a little bit of what they say, and because Afghan and Farsi have some similarities. He said bachabazi means like, see, or it says right here in the middle of the screen, it says bachabazi. That means like, the literal is child play, playing with children. But what it means is what you think.
یک مرد اجتماعی هستم هر کاری که میکنم که خانم مشوره میکنم
Oh, shoot, I put music again. I keep forgetting about music, man. They always get me for music. Dang it. All right. Shoot. Any of them? Yeah. I can't play.
فعلا کجا میرم با شما؟
میریم اون بچه پیدا میکنیم.
Okay. I can't play though. I might be able to play this.
میریم اون بچه پیدا میکنیم. که با وزن برابر باشه 12-13 ساله باشه خوبش باشه
I'm reading what it says in the video.
باز شوانم کتیمو شما میباشه
بله میگیم مادر و پدرش میگیم تو باید شاور پیدا میکنیم
باز اونا اجازه میدن
بله
چی وعده چیزی وعده میکنیم
ایسا میتیم
What do you promise them? Money?
یعنی شما اکثرا بچه رو میرین که وضع زندگیشان خوب نیست غریب است
غریب است دیگه اینا تا اون نیست
دستگیر فعلا کجا میریم با شما؟
میریم اون بچه پیدا میکنیم که با وزن برابر باشه 12-13 ساله باشه خوبش باشه
باز شوانم کتیمو شما میباشه
Crazy. All right, I'm going to switch gears. And before we switch gears, I'm going to go back to this because we need to get a breakdown of what happened recently in the news. But what I want to do here, bro, real quick is a quick palate cleanse. I got where are the ladies? Ladies, I added a few for you because I know you guys requested that. So Barbara says Jesse Lee is the best. Yep.
Beta.
Don't be a
Beta male.
Yeah.
That's a lie. That's amazing.
All right. So I got Jen and the rest of the ladies. Let me know, Barbara. Let me know. We have what I call palate cleansers. So we have, for example, for the guys, we got Mary Margaret Olahan. Okay. Let me go like this really quick and go like this. And I think I just moved this too much here. Let me just go like this. I think this goes like this. Okay. Mary Margaret Olahan. Caitlin. Carolyn. Paulina Luna. Let me see if I can move this again here because it's kind of got shifted. All right. I think like that. All right. And then we got, for the ladies, I have a good palate cleanser. Okay, here we go. Sorry, I brought it back to this one. So for the ladies, here we go. For the ladies, I got a couple, but you guys let me know if these are good or not. Brandon Gill. Pete Hegseth. Josh Hawley. Barron Trump. RFK. Kev Dog, I'm not gay. I'm not gay. But I got requests. The girls said they want. Someone says life is too short. Says yes. Oh no. Are we back? All right, we're back. So I just got to do a little bit of refresh. So, all right. So Jen also says Smokey Eyes would have been a good too. Okay, so I need to add Smokey Eyes, aka JD Vance. Kev says that's a Nazi. Look at his tattoo. He's making fun of the Democrats. Min says Brandon looks like my type. So this is Brandon. Min, is it the eyes? Just messing. Just messing. Min, we never talked about my Korean. Remember, I had a Korean girlfriend. I know a few Korean words. Do you speak Korean? I forgot about this. I'm guessing you do. I know how you say "give me some" in Korean. Cause I'm not a beta. How we doing? How we doing? Min, are you there? Min, Korean barbecue, give me some. I know how to say give me some. Kev dog, I don't know if Min can hear me or where she's at. I think maybe she's doing something. I'm gonna wait till she comes back online, I mean. Arash is online. What's up, buddy? Life is too short, so smile says, let's hear it. Let's hear what? Korean? Korean? Do you speak it too? Life is too short. Do you speak it? K-pop? You guys speak Korean? Najum Jo. I know how to say Najum Jo. Mohale. So Najum Jo, Mohale. Kako Shipo. Life is too short, so smile says yes. Oh, not Korean. No, okay. All right. Here we go. How do you have a list of MAGA hunks? Because I had, here's how I have it. The good-looking guy, too bad he's 5'3". I think he's taller than 5'3", bro. Brandon Gill looks like he's pretty tall. I have this list of MAGA guys because Miss Medication helped me out. She helped me pick these guys. And she's wondering if you guys like them because she was kind of not sure, but she was helping me out. So I think Brandon Gill is actually kind of tall. Taller. Brandon Gill. Images. And let's go here. And let's go here. Oh. And let's go here. And then, oh, okay, you're not good. Okay. I don't know. I don't know if he's running. That's a good question. But let's go there. And then we're going to go like this. And then this is Brandon Gill. This is Brandon Gill next to Mike. This is Brandon Gill. I don't think he's that short. See, he's tall. He's taller than Mike. It's not gay if you yell surprise, so I've heard. Min says Mr. Min is 6'5". Woo! There you go. I think him and who else is it? Who is it that's not on the line right now? Who was playing basketball in Israel? I'm blanking on his name. Anyway, that's Gil. Anyway, I'm going all over the place right now. And let's bring it back together. Let's bring it all back. Let's bring it all back. Let's bring it all back. All right. Here we go. So this is what we were looking at earlier. We're going to continue with this.
Of body fat.
You're not going to do the interview with us?
Nope, not like this. I'm not. Not with 7 follow-ups to every single question you ask.
It's no surprise she freaked when she heard 40%, since that's her level of body fat.
Barbara says the rest are good. No Josh. Okay.
Then there's
no Josh Hawley.
this
Okay.
recently surfaced nugget.
To airport.
This is a good clip. You see the person behind her. She gets in her clip. It gets in her video, and she freaks out. Watch this. But Jen said something. Jen says, Medi, I'm 5'3". Was the AOC slam she was about Stephen Miller? No, she didn't say I'm 5'3". Jen says the 5'3" was the AOC slam she said about Stephen Miller. Yes, it was about. I don't know if it was Stephen Miller. I think it was about someone else. We
Pollution
can
and
pull it
other
up.
problems, and the state could lose. Get out of my shot.
I wanted to tell you that that's actually incorrect. It's not that it's electric vehicles. It's that if we don't meet the commitments under the Paris Climate Accord.
Okay, it does. Okay, you also were in my shot before that. Stay out of my shot.
Nice girl. Yeah. No wonder everyone who works for her ends up on a milk carton. If only she could retain staff the way she retains water. Then, whoa. I know. There's left-wing streamer Hassan Piker, who's being accused of
Okay, so we saw this part, and then now I want to go back to this. So we're talking about Katie Porter. So this is what happened after Katie Porter's crazy viral interview that she gave. Okay, this is what this video is about, guys. So here we go.
The Katie Porter snappings, they have been heard around the world. And I think that Katie Porter's making history because she has potentially annihilated her chances to be the next governor of California, more so than any other candidate I've ever seen so quickly. My goodness gracious, what are we talking about right here? Well, let's take a look. Chance to be the next California governor. According to the Kalshi prediction market, Katie Porter's chances have fallen through the floor. Just 2 days ago, she was the plurality leader in the prediction markets at 40%. Now, get this, her chance has fallen by more than half to just 16%. My goodness gracious. Meanwhile, Alex Padilla, who's not even running for governor of California at this point, he's a sitting senator from that state, his chances have gone up through the roof from 10% all the way to 27%, nearly gone up threefold. Now, one of the big reasons why the prediction markets have moved so much on Katie Porter's chances to be the next governor of California is because people are really interested in this story. Take a look here. Google searches for Katie Porter at an all-time high, despite Katie Porter having a long political career. Get this, up over 10,000% versus just a week ago. And not so surprisingly, the top topic searched alongside Katie Porter at this point, interview. It turns out maybe you shouldn't snap at a local political reporter.
Yeah, I think that comes with the territory of running for office, right? That's something you probably shouldn't do. But more importantly, he was referencing the prediction markets from Kalshi. I want to reference the prediction markets from Poly Market because now, obviously, if Alex Padilla becomes the governor, I mean, California still is going to be in trouble. But again, according to Poly Market, Alex Padilla.
I want to go back to what you guys are saying. Min says she's glad that we're finding this out. Seriously, though, Min is saying that the fact that The View talk trash about her, the level that takes, absolutely. Because, The View, they would never talk bad about any Democrat. Draco says, you can't be fat and mean. Now, there was something that I saw recently on TV, a little video on Instagram about fat people and the fact that they are now fat, and something about fat people and having an attitude. If Miss Medication can send me that clip, I think she's the one that showed me that. I would love to pull that up because that's a hilarious clip. I did not cover the helicopter crash in Huntington Beach yet. No, I did not. That was wild, dude. And to be honest, I was out and about in that area, or I would have covered it. But I was actually in Newport Beach. I was in Newport Beach on the beach at that time. And so I was not far from Huntington Beach. I was further down, like miles down on Newport Beach, literally having lunch with Miss Medication. She was probably hangry. Should have gave her a Twinkie. Yep. Absolutely. Let's keep going with some more Devori and see what it says here.
Besides just the voters out in California and the people in the United States at large, it's Fox News. Fox News, if you have tuned in over the last 2 days, and you tune in a particular hour, there's a pretty good chance you're going to see Katie Porter. I mean, look at all of these segments that Fox News has been doing. Indeed, I looked it up. There have been segments featuring Katie Porter, get this, over 20 times, 20 plus times over just the last 2 days alone. Fox News can't get enough of her.
Well, let's be honest. It's not just Fox News talking about this. It's all conservatives talking about this. Even CNN's talking about it. I'm talking about it. And it's for good reason. The people of California should know about this, which is why I have ground news here on the screen for us. Now,
yes,
you guys don't know, ground news is a tool that helps you see the full picture of stories are.
Miss Medication found the one about fat people.
But say I have some fat I love.
Of course, we're just having fun. Miss Medication wants to make sure you guys know that we have fat friends too. Is that what you're trying to say?
Some people that I love.
Oh, some people that I love. Sorry. Oh, she said we have fat people that we love. Of course.
So it's just funny.
They know, bro. Yeah, of course. We're having fun. But play it because we won't laugh.
Play it.
I mean, give it to me. Send it. Okay. She sent it to me. That was a lot of content she gave me. Make fat. James says, make fat America angry again. Draco, she's probably angry. Draco said, who was it? Draco says, you can't be fat and mean. So let's play this. I want to play this really quick. Where is it? Where are you? Here we go.
The hotter you are, the crazier you can be. Men will put up with it. But the opposite is also true. This is why fat girls used to be so nice. But then the internet and a bunch of black dudes convinced them that they were hot too. Now you can't even talk to one. Relax, bitch. You can't have an attitude and type 2 diabetes. If you're over 300 pounds, you need to be as sweet as your blood sugar. These fat white girls who get with a black dude and then they're like, see, I'm not racist. And I'm like, come on, Cheryl. It's not like you had a choice. The hotter you are, the crazier you can be. Men will put up with it. But the opposite is also true. This is why fat girls used to be so nice. But then the internet and a bunch of black dudes convinced them that they were hot too.
Oh my God, bro.
Now you can't even talk to one. Relax, bitch. You can't have an attitude and type.
I think we're back up. We should be back up.
Yeah.
All right, we're back up. that click broke my system, dude. Shit, bro. Oh, dude. All right, let's go back. Let's do this. All right.
Being reported in the media, even stories that are going underreported.
Also, were in my shop before that. Stay out.
Be a lot of people on Capitol Hill.
So, guys, why this is so important is because obviously I'm in California, and a lot of us, California is the uglies are crazier than the hot ones now. Yeah, dude, literally. The reason why this is so important is California is big, man. It's one of those states that, I mean, if we play our cards right, we can help it out and make it red. I mean, Orange County, if you look at California, a lot of it is red. It's just the hot spots along the ocean that are blue. Send it to me. Miss Medication has more for us. But so we're worried about California. We're trying to get California to be more blue. So here we go. Let's see more about what's going on with this.
We might be shut down for a lot longer, i.e. forever. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm red, not blue. What am I saying, dude? I need more. Can you make me more coffee, please? Come on, woman.
You're making us
More coffee, woman.
No,
To be fair.
It certainly is not necessarily something that people are going to vote on if they're worried about California high prices, the aftermath of the Palisades fire, not being able to build, et cetera, illegal immigration. But it's certainly a soft spot for her. And you have candidates like Steve Hilton, Republican, who has said she may be the most popular Democrat in the race, but she's not winning the race overall. He sees an opening here.
Well, there is definitely an opening, especially if you're reading the bullet points here on Ground News. You guys know I like to give the bottom line to it, to all these stories that we talk about. And so does Ground News. Right here, the fourth one down. Polls show Porter, who once led, is now trailing Republican candidate Steve Hilton by 6 points after recent controversies have emerged. Makes sense to me. Steve Hilton is a good guy. I think he has a good chance. I'm not saying he's going to win, but California's been through a lot. People ask me all the time, do they believe there will be a Republican governor? I'm still not convinced, but Katie Porter and the rest of the Democrat Party, they're really making it interesting, to say the least. And what's more interesting is Ground News, because as you guys know, if you want to do your own research, see what both sides are saying or what one side is saying and not the other, this tool is going to help you do that. And it's what we use to produce this show. So I encourage you guys to use it for yourself. So if you want to use this tool for yourself, all you have to do is go to ground.news/Devori, or you could download the mobile app. Just use promo code Devori, and it's going to give you access to everything that I showed you in this video, including 40%
behavior. Do better. You got millions of that face in your television screen for the next 4 years. California, maybe she's actually an improving. California, are you really going to look at that face in your television screen for the next 4 years and tolerate this behavior? Do better. You got millions upon millions of people.
Scott, I think the question, one of the questions, though, for you, I mean, not so much for other people who don't like this behavior, but for you, you comfortable with that treatment of reporters from Trump, but not from Katie Porter?
I don't care what Katie Porter does to reporters. I thought it was legitimate questions, and any legitimate candidate for governor, especially in a state that size, ought to have a better answer.
I mean,
Yeah, I don't know where Abby Phillips was going with that, but I will tell you this. The issue is not that she snapped at the reporter and wanted to walk off the set, or that she screams at her staffers. The issue is it shows you how she deals with stress, okay? And when no one's watching, how she deals with what we call integrity, right? You say it in the military, integrity is, are you doing the right thing when nobody's watching? Those are the issues. And when you're asking to be the governor of probably 60 million people, not 44 if you're counting illegals, yeah, we're going to need somebody much more mentally tough than that. Attack. But according,
I want to see who's running for mayor right now, or I'm sorry, governor. Governor of California. Polls. Well, Katie Porter. Okay, Chad Bianco in California is a Republican. That is, I believe he was a sheriff of Riverside, so he has a chance. But it's Steve Hilton. Steve Hilton is a Republican. Candidates. So here we have the candidates right here. Katie Porter, I think, just tanked. So these numbers at 21%, I don't know if this is pre-tank or post-tank. I'm hoping it's pre-tank. State Line says Bianco has a questionable past himself. I was surprised to see his newer stance. It's good to see that he's polling, and he's doing better than the other Democrats. So we got Katie Porter. Hopefully this is pre-tank, and we see Katie Porter drop down, and we got Steve Hilton and Chad Bianco. Man, can you imagine if we get a Republican in California? It'd be wild stuff. That would be out of control, man.
according to Democrats, it's ICE officers that are attacking neighborhoods. Take a listen.
It's not appropriate to militarize our cities. It is not appropriate to activate National Guard troops and send them into our cities. Our National Guard men and women are doing a fantastic job. But you know what? They sign up to be tank drivers. They should be practicing driving tanks. They should be practicing to defend America against our enemies around the world. And that's what they would rather be doing. So what I've been saying to protesters, to people of Chicago, be kind to the guardsmen and women. They're here against their will. They're here because they were activated to come here. Maintain your protest. Say what you need to say. Do it peacefully. But I condemn what is happening with ICE, the work that they're doing, snatching people off the streets, shooting priests in the head who are guilty simply of a crime of praying, throwing smoke grenades in front of elementary schools. This is not America. This is not what this democracy is about. We just want to go in and look at this facility and see what the conditions are, and they will not let us in. It is shameful. You don't run and hide if you're proud of what you're doing.
Min says the last poll was August pre-tank. Hell yeah. Dude, she tanked, dude. So we'll hopefully we get some kind of update on that soon. I'd love to see that.
That's what ICE is doing right now.
Well, there is so much to say to someone like her. She is a veteran herself, and in my opinion, a disgusting politician. I will not degrade her service, but I will degrade her credibility as a politician. She is just unhinged at best. Okay, let's just say that. And again, what makes me a little upset here is because she served in the military, she should know better when it comes to talking about National Guard troops. National Guard troops' job is not to drive trucks all day. National Guard troops is always to be training to protect the homeland first. That's why National Guard troops exist. Why? Because they are military-wise the first responders to emergencies. Well, I guess depending on how you frame what's happening in ICE detention facilities.
Barbara says, does she accuse ICE agents of shooting I don't know. Should we hear that again? Did she say that?
Fantastic job. But you know what? They sign up to be tank drivers. They should be practicing driving.
They signed up to be tank drivers? What is she talking about, bro? Is she okay?
It's not appropriate to militarize our cities. It is not appropriate to activate National Guard troops and send them into our cities. Our National Guard men and women are doing a fantastic job. But you know what? They sign up to be tank drivers. They should be practicing driving tanks. They should be practicing to defend America against our enemies around the world. And that's what they would rather be doing. So what I've been saying to protesters, to people of Chicago, be kind to the guardsmen and women. They're here against their will. They're here because they were activated to come here. Maintain your protest. Say what you need to say. Do it peacefully. But I condemn what is happening with ICE, the work that they're doing, snatching people off the streets, shooting priests in the head who are
What?
Guilty simply of a crime of praying, throwing smoke.
Slim says Duckworth left out the priest was shot in the head by non-lethal. I didn't know about that. Was a priest out there doing something he shouldn't be doing?
Grenades in front of elementary schools. This is not America. This is not what this democracy is about.
The hell?
We just want to go in and look at this facility and see what the conditions are, and they will not let us in. It is shameful. You don't run and hide if you're proud of what you're doing. That's what ICE is doing right now.
Well, there is so much to say to someone.
State Line says that was inappropriate for them to plug that guy the way that they did. He was shot with a pepper ball for blocking the entrance to the facility after repeated warnings. He wasn't praying.
Like her. She is a veteran herself, and in my opinion, a disgusting politician. I will not degrade her service, but I will degrade her credibility as a politician. She is just unhinged at best. Okay, let's just say that. And again, what makes me a little upset here is because she served in the military, she should know better when it comes to talking about National Guard troops. National Guard troops' job is not to drive trucks all day. National Guard troops is always to be training to protect the homeland first. That's why National Guard troops exist. Why? Because they are military-wise the first responders to emergencies. Well, I guess depending on how you frame what's happening in ICE detention facilities, one could call it an emergency. And they are trained in riot control. Don't let these people gaslight you, okay? I know some of these politicians make you think like the Guard, they're worthless and they have nothing better to do. No, these guardsmen, these military soldiers, Army veterans, by the way, they're happy about all this. Why? Because they're getting paid, ladies and gentlemen. They are not doing this for free. And if this is going to help them feed their families, they're going to be happy to do it because they know they're serving their country. They're not there against their will. They know what they signed up for. But that's how they like to flip it and manipulate the audience. Now, here's Adam Crybaby Kinzinger and his unhinged meltdown about ICE officers. Take a listen.
And then you deport them and you piss all over them so that you look tough on social media? Because somehow it makes you feel strong because you never served in the military, all these ICE agents, and you think that you know you were a coward, and now you have a chance to go out and look tough, so you're going to grab a child and put him in a zip tie? You're going to take a mom away in front of her kids and feel real tough doing that?
Thanks, Jen.
Strength is not beating up, punching down on people less fortunate than you. That just makes you a piece of shit. Period.
Well, excuse my French. What makes someone also a piece of shit is someone like Adam Kinzinger, who believes it's appropriate to continue to attack and incite violence against ICE officers. That's just the honest truth. ICE officers are doing exactly what's in their constitutional duty. If Adam Kinzinger and the rest of them had such a problem with illegal immigration, they should have done something about it when they had power, when Biden was the president, but they refused to do nothing. They sat on their hands and they created this crisis. Now they're so upset that the president is trying to deal with the crisis and solve it. Get out of here with that. And more importantly, these ICE officers aren't.
Let's see this video. This is Jen just sent this over. I guess this is the priest. Yeah, they're definitely blocking an entrance of some sort. And I think State Line is right on that. The optics are not good on that, even if they're justified in doing what they did. Yeah, those are pepper balls, kind of like a paintball, but pepper balls, right? Yeah. He says they could have pushed them back by setting up a better perimeter. I agree. A perimeter would have been setting up a perimeter would have been a great way to do that. Yeah. It just doesn't look right, in my opinion, too. I agree with State Line on that. The optics are not good. That's just a little, what's the word I want to use? Careless?
Aren't trying to look tough. These people are putting their lives on the line. They're being threatened. They're being doxxed. They're being
World War II.
Is because they have justified it based on Hill's court.
Tonight, the operation was hit with another loss in the courts when a different federal judge sided with the village of Broadview and ordered that the
State Line says they pushed the perimeter. They pushed the perimeter way back and set up fencing. Now I'll be there tomorrow. You'll be there at that ICE facility?
fence surrounding.
Oh, it is in your town, bro. Holy cow. I remember that she spun it to make it sound way worse. If you're going to be out there, let me know. I'll pull your, if you end up doing some video, I'll pull your video on live.
Surrounding the ICE facility that's built on city property must be taken down. Despite these recent rulings, there is reason for the administration to feel optimistic because last night an appeals court panel in Oregon suggested that it is likely to side with the administration and overturn a judge's ruling blocking the deployment of the National Guard to Portland. Of course, the hope is that an appeals court judge will be doing the same thing here in Chicago for the administration.
Well, I guess we better cross our fingers because you never know with these judges, including ones that serve at the appellate court level. Well, when it comes to the appeals court, you still have to hold your breath.
They're talking about the amazing work that the state and local police have been doing in terms of controlling these protests. And while that is true and it has made a significant difference, it is important to note that they only got here a week ago. The 4 or 5 weeks before that happened, it was the federal agents who were on their own in terms of securing this facility and trying to allow federal agents to move in and out of it. Today, though, we have seen 4 arrests so far, and the state police who are now doing crowd control here are not playing around. I want to show you this video from this morning where you can see police officers pulling several protesters out from the crowd and dragging them across.
Okay, we're back. Here we go.
Handling these crowds over the past week. That is in part why yesterday a federal judge blocked the National Guard from being deployed. Judge April Perry, a Biden appointee, told Justice Department attorneys, quote, "I have seen no credible evidence that there is danger of rebellion in the state of Illinois." The Trump administration is appealing that decision, but for now, the 200 Texas National Guard troops who are already in the state are on standby while the appeals process plays out.
Yeah, this whole situation is chaotic, okay? Because you have people who have been misled by their political leaders into thinking that ICE officers are the problem, and they're not. Into thinking that tolerating criminal legal aliens is okay because they all deserve justice or due process. No, your due process was up when you entered the country illegally, and when we catch you, you're getting deported. That's your due process. Now, I know there's some people out there that will still argue against that. And then I argue back and say there's no way in our world, in the way that the U.S. Constitution is constructed, how a criminal, illegal alien has more rights or just as much rights as an American citizen in our country. I just don't see how that's possible. But if you are a Democrat, raging liberal, or progressive, you actually believe they probably have more rights than American citizens because all you have to do is look at their behavior. Now, what's interesting is Clown Lemon, who you guys know, I only show him every time he makes a fool of himself, not his hatred comments. I don't really like to see that stuff. It's too toxic. He's on the ground there in front of Broadview ICE detention facility. And as usual, he always finds a way to interview people that say exactly what he does not want to hear. Take a look.
What do you think when you see all this happening?
What do I think? I think that it's inexcusable. I see people that are coming here that are showing violence, or showing hatred, intolerance, people that are blocking vehicles and damaging vehicles and throwing bottles at vehicles and throwing fireworks. And
hold on one second. Show that. This is what happening now. When the vans come in, it is believed that the vans are carrying, most of the time they're carrying people that they have picked up, detainees. And so these people are ticked off. Now, I'm speaking to a resident now who you're not happy with these protesters, right?
I'm not, most definitely not. I think what we see here today with the state police and the Cook County Sheriff's presence is showing a show of force to keep them off the road.
Can you go ahead? Because I want them to see that. Just turn around.
Okay.
So it's easy to talk to you. You said that what?
They're showing, so you have the Cook County Sheriff's, Illinois State Police, Broadview Police, and other local jurisdictions. And earlier, I don't think you were here quite for this, but they had locked arms, the protesters, and they attempted to block traffic, and for no reason, and they're not blocking, so They gave you a right to free speech. They gave you a right to all that. But what you don't have the right to do is to threaten violent acts. I've been here and I've seen death threats threatened on the ICE agents. I've seen people threaten to abduct them, kidnap them, hurt them, kill them, and that's unacceptable. We live in America. We have First Amendment right, freedom of speech, regardless of what your political opinion is. But what you don't have is the right to instill and put political violence on somebody.
Now, look at that. Someone who has common sense. I do not disagree with people protesting what's happening at these ICE detention facilities. What I do disagree with, like you just heard in that interview, is when they get violent and they start to obstruct ICE officers from doing their jobs. Yeah, that's when you've gone too far and you become disruptive to even the local neighborhood. And then it gets worse when the police department refuses to respond. It's fascinating. And then you're following these people throughout the city, driving with your vehicle to ram them off the road. I mean, that's when you've gone too far, and you should be held accountable for that. Get a life. I can't believe this is what people think about when they wake up in the morning, and this is what they're seeking to do. Get into altercations with federal authorities. Just doesn't make any sense, and these are people who are emotionally out of control.
I agree with you 100%. But also, even if you're a citizen or not, you have the right to due process. You understand why these people are protesting, but you don't agree with some of the tactics that they're using?
I understand why they're protesting, but I also wouldn't say I necessarily agree with all their message. I think us as a
That's
country,
what I just said. You don't agree with some of the tactics that they're using.
No, but not even just the tactics, just like the crux of the actual message of the protest itself. Because us as a country, we lock our doors to our cars, we lock our doors to our houses, we vet who comes into our house, we vet who comes into our car.
This is a point that I make all the time when people ask me about illegal immigration. Why do you lock your front door? If you're okay with anyone running into our country and anyone running around anywhere, just, everyone should be free to move around anywhere they want. Well, then why is your front door locked?
We want to feel comfortable who comes in our house and our of the actual message of the protest itself, because us as a country, we lock our doors to our cars, we lock our doors to our houses, we vet who comes into our house, we vet who comes into our car. We want to feel comfortable who comes in our house and our car, because that's our property. It's the same with our bank account information. We don't just walk around, here's my checking number, here's my routing number, and give anybody access to your bank account, because it's your property. You want to feel comfortable with who has access to your property, and it's America's property, and we should vet who comes into our country.
Yeah, someone needs to get him his own show, because everything he said there was facts. And it's something that Don Lemon has lost touch of. And same thing with mainstream media. They just think it's okay for people to cross the border illegally and commit crimes.
Yeah. Yep.
4,000 federal workers have been laid off by the Trump administration. Secondly, John Bolton is facing a federal indictment. It should be dropping any day now. And the president just sent a chilling warning to China. In all these stories, we're going to show you what both sides.
We're about to enter a second weekend of the partial government shutdown. Senators have left town, and concerns are growing about missed paychecks for federal employees. That is going to start. Senior congressional correspondent Chad Pergram is on Capitol Hill tonight.
The rifts have begun. White House Budget Director Russ Vought making good on his vow to fire federal employees. Democrats seething.
We believe that they are not only unethical and immoral, but illegal for him to be riffing people during a shutdown. And so I don't believe in negotiating by threat.
Elfreth represents 44,000 federal employees. She says Maryland lost 15,000 federal workers since President Trump took office. Republicans are not surprised.
We're going to have to start making some decisions about how to move money around, which agencies and departments are going to be impacted.
Maine Republican Susan Collins opposes Vought's firings, declaring the move, quote, arbitrary. The union representing federal employees asked for a temporary restraining order. The president says these are the consequences for the shutdown.
We'll be cutting some very popular Democrat programs that aren't popular with Republicans.
Democrats say they're detecting shutdown anxiety from the GOP.
We have seen rhetorical movement from Republicans, but actions speak louder than words.
Well, that's Hakeem Jeffries there, and he's right. Actions do speak louder than words, which is why the action from the Democrats, it's really disgraceful if you think about it. Just have the...
Good move, State Line. Good move, man. I agree.
Fight about the ACA subsidies after the government is open. It's the sensible thing to do. It's the common sense thing to do, but they can't bring it to themselves. Not at this juncture, because remember, their whole purpose right now is to make the American people feel pain, because they're banking on the fact that the American people might just blame President Trump. That's what they're hoping. That's what they're praying for. And of course, here is CNN reporting more on what Russ Vought did today with these layoffs. Take a listen.
Renee, do we know which federal agencies are getting hit with these layoffs right now?
Well, Jake, you know, when that announcement was made via social media, there was no additional information as far as which agencies. So our entire team started making calls, and here's what we
We should be back. And we're back. All right, here we go. I agree with State Line. Yeah, I know, Sharon. Sharon, I'm sorry. Yeah, we should be back. I don't know what's going on. I think I think Gavin Newsom is sabotaging me. But I also was gonna say here, James said they could cut employees from the IRS without pushback. Yep, I agree. Do you guys think Trump is really going to do that, or is he trolling them?
Department of Homeland Security and HUD have all confirmed to CNN that there will be a reduction in force, these mass layoffs happening where they will be separating from federal employees. I will point out we don't have a number as far as scale at each of these agencies. Quite frankly, the labor union doesn't quite know just how many of these federal employees are getting these notices saying that they no longer have jobs at these agencies. We are hearing from that labor union. The president, Everett Kelly, he says to CNN in a statement that in the labor union's 93 years of existence under several presidential administrations, including during Trump's first term, no other president has ever decided to fire thousands of furloughed workers during a government shutdown.
Okay, here's that tweet from Russ Vought earlier today confirming that RIFs have begun. And this is a reduction in force. So here's the question for you right up front, okay? Because this is really the bottom line. Do you support the Trump administration slashing the federal workforce in half? That means they are laying off federal workers, not furlough, laying off. So a good amount of them may not come back. Now, I'll just tell you right now, as you answer that question in the comment section below, the Democrats have already gone to the courts, okay? So expect a TRO announcement coming shortly here, whether that's tonight or tomorrow. I'm sure it's going to happen.
Yeah, G. Hankar, why do you say that? And I can feel that. And I can understand what you're saying because I've heard that already by someone else. So what makes you say that, bro? I'm curious.
The question also is, do they have the authority to do so? Yes, they do. The Trump administration has the authority to lay off federal workers. It may not have been done before, but it's not illegal. Okay, let's hear more about the details about the numbers within each agency that is particularly being laid off based on this court filing. Take a listen.
Because I actually think what we just learned moments ago, which is not about the Air Force Base, but actually about these federal worker layoffs, is going to cause real strain on the relationship between the administration and a lot of Republicans on Capitol Hill, because we've just learned in a court filing that more than 4,000 federal workers were laid off today. And just to give you an idea of what that looks like, it's about 315 workers at the Department of Commerce, 466 workers at the Department of Education, 187 at the Department of Energy. That list goes on and on. A couple of things to point out here. There were already reservations among Republicans as to how this shutdown was being handled. We've heard them speak out about it. The fact that the House has not been called into session. The fact that these workers' pay was being threatened. We heard President Trump saying some workers didn't deserve to get paid, and at one point saying they were going to look at the law differently, the law he signed in 2019, to say that they wouldn't have to pay those furloughed workers. But now you have a complete restructuring of the federal workforce. Of course, we know that the president has extended powers during a government shutdown, but it's really unprecedented to use them in this way to restructure the government essentially in your image.
Okay, here's another question for you. If you were the president, what would you do? Would you continue to support the attitude that it's on the Democrats to get the government back open? Republicans have offered a clean.
Yeah, I know, man. Hankar or Hanchart, I know, man. It's a delicate, it's a delicate thing there. I did a couple of those. I did 2 streams on the problem with Islam and a few other things. So just got to be careful. I don't know. I got to see what the deal is, because a shadow ban is a real thing. I mean, there's a reason why they won't let and we should be back now. I don't know why we keep doing that. That's not helping me. The fact that my stream keeps going up and down like that doesn't help. But we should be back. Yeah. Yeah, we should be back now.
In the face of air traffic controllers not going to receive their paychecks, what would you do? I guess it's going to be based on your principles, right? And that lies why politics have become so divisive. In the big picture of things, we shouldn't even be.
It's not my internet connection or my service provider. It's my my OBS system that I'm using to do all this. It's up and down ever since a new update. I might have to go to a prior update, to a prior version.
Be in this position, but
yeah, it's not my connection at all. My internet connection's phenomenal. I have like crazy internet connection here, and I'm connected via wire, no by LAN. So it's not like a Wi-Fi or anything like that. It's really good internet connection. Is just the OBS system that I use to stream all this. I think this new version is a little bit clunky.
It's President Trump, and Democrats hate him with every fiber of their being. And so they will tear down this earth if they have to, if that means President Trump will go down with them. And that's just a frightening way to govern our country.
I might just take a little intermission here and do like a 1 or 2 hour break and restart everything and all that, and then come back online. Once I kind of get that dialed in.
Country, it really is, because innocent people get hurt in the process. And that's just how I see it. So why don't we hear one side of the story? Because, we have both sides to show you. I'm going to start with Democrats. So they have one of these individuals on MSDNC claiming that they're not changing their stance. They are not going to let up. And each day that goes by, it's getting better for them. Take a listen.
All right, so today's a critical day. A lot of federal government workers got only a partial paycheck today. Military members got their last paycheck. That's the last one until the shutdown ends. You have Russ Vought, as we just put up on the television, saying the reduction in force has begun. So I guess they're saying that thousands of employees will now be laid off. Does this put pressure on Democrats to come back and try to end this shutdown?
I don't think so, Katie. And the reason I say that, and, let me acknowledge right up front that this shutdown is causing an awful lot of people an awful lot of pain. The day it began, I went up to the airport at Windsor Locks, Connecticut, to see off 500 Connecticut National Guardsmen who were deploying to the Middle East. These are not wealthy people, right? And they are not going to get paid on October 15th. So this is causing a huge amount of pain.
I think it's very important for me to at least bring this up. The Medicare annual enrollment period is now here.
One video I want to show you guys in case you haven't seen it. This is where Jake Tapper actually, from CNN, he actually says that it's because of the Democrats, because Democrats obviously blame Republicans for the shutdown. But here is Jake Tapper actually saying that it is the Democrats' fault. So this was interesting. I'd never seen him, calling out his own side. So here we go.
Blaming the Republicans for the shutdown. But in point of fact, it's the Democrats in the Senate who are refusing to vote for the clean continuing resolution to fund the government for 7 weeks. I mean, that just as a point of fact, the way that we have always covered shutdowns is that the party that is not voting for the CR, the continuing resolution to fund the government, is the party that is blocking the government funding and is responsible for the shutdown. That's how we did it the last time in 2018, 2019. That's the time we did before that during the Obama administration. I mean, it's your party that is refusing in the Senate that is refusing to vote for the continuing resolution.
So I just want to play that real quick because that was great to hear that from CNN. I do want to get to
for 6 more weeks so we can put together a budget. And
I do want to get to this video with our favorite senator on the planet, but we'll see. I think I might take a break and then come back. I'll do a reset so we don't have any more issues. Hopefully, get to the bottom of it
here. And you know what that means? There's plenty of seniors out there that are going to feel confused when it comes to picking the right one, 520. Even CNN has acknowledged, out of all people, that this is a clean CR. They even argued with Nancy Pelosi about it, and a lot of Democrats out there. CBO acknowledged it. So why do Democrats want to commit political suicide? I have no idea. Now, on the screen, we were able to find the copy of the actual numbers that were included in the court filing. As you guys can see here, we really dive into this. 315 at the Department of Commerce, 466 at Education, 187 at Energy, 1,100, I guess between approximately 1,100 and 1,200 at HHS, 442 at Housing Urban Development, 176 at Homeland Security, and 1,446 of the Department of Treasury. Now, my question is this: where is the IRS on this list? I think that's a
Jen, thanks for letting me know. I didn't know that. Didn't know. Let me just type that, see how that pops up.
Good question, right? I'm just poking a little fun, but this actually takes us to another breaking news story here. Military personnel have showed up at a food bank, given the fact that they received their last paycheck during this government shutdown. It's an interesting story. Take a listen.
As I take a step aside here, there is quite a bit of military members and their families in line because of this government shutdown. We're in day 9 of it, and they're here for a food pantry. There's all sorts of food that is available, and I spoke with some military member spouses, and I spoke with some department heads here at the ASYMCA on why this is so important. What's the difference in the amount of people that you've seen from today to previously?
So when we first started coming, there definitely wasn't this amount of people. It was a lot, but it wasn't this amount to where it wrapped around the building. But lately it has been a lot. Like we were here last week and we were in line for like 2 hours.
In a normal week, we usually run out of food about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Last week, we ran out of food about 10:30.
Okay, so the bottom line is the American people are starting to feel the pain of a government shutdown, and that's exactly what the Democrats want. Republicans and President Trump believes they're going to be able to get their way with this. They've done the right thing. Clean CR. Okay. No spin on it. No priorities from Republicans on it. Just continue the existing spending. And Democrats say, nope, we don't want to do that. We want to add our own sauce on it. And now we are where we are. So why don't you guys give me your forecast, your estimate? What do you think will play out over the next 7 days? Do you believe the Democrats will cave and get the government back open? Or do you think this is going to get worse? Let me know in the comment section below. Now let's go to our next update, and this is fun. So John Bolton, it's being reported by MSDNC, okay, out of all people, that he's on the verge of receiving a federal indictment. Take a listen.
Bolton, former national security advisor turned sharp critic of Donald Trump, is expected to be the subject of a complaint or even an indictment as early as next week. MSNBC, citing 2 sources, is reporting exclusively that the acting U.S. attorney in Maryland is moving forward quickly to seek criminal charges against Bolton. They reportedly relate to claims that he improperly kept classified national security information in his Maryland home. His home was searched in August. Bolton's lawyer insists that his client, John Bolton, did nothing improper. It is the second instance of targeting a prominent Trump critic.
You know what the interesting thing is about John Bolton and his situation? He's been looking at an indictment since the Biden administration. This isn't something that was manufactured under Trump. This is something that he was already facing. But obviously, MSDNC isn't really going to focus on that key detail. They're going to focus on the fact that he's been a Trump critic. Just because you're a Trump critic doesn't mean you don't deserve a federal indictment, okay? And if a jury of your peers can find that a federal indictment is warranted, then you got to make your case in court to defend yourself. It's exactly what the president had to do. And he wasn't successful, as you guys know, for obvious reasons. But I'm not feeling sorry for John Bolton. But hey, doesn't stop CNN from painting this picture to their audience that President Trump has weaponized the entire weight of the federal government against his political opponents. That's what they're saying. Take a listen.
Who's next here? Because there, of course, have been kind of lists out, and as Scott pointed out, the president freely talks about a lot of the people that he wants to go after. So here are some people that are under investigation right now. John Bolton, John Brennan, Lisa Cook, of course, Federal Reserve, Chris Krebs, Adam Schiff, Jack Smith, Miles Taylor. The public calls to investigate Reid Hoffman, Mark Milley, George Soros, Fani Willis, Chris Wray. This is quite an array of people. Scott Jennings, one person we've heard about is John Bolton, although it sounds like that investigation may have begun under the Biden administration.
Yeah, that started under Biden. And from what I read in the newspaper, they did find classified material, according to the reporting, in his house.
Yep, that's a very important detail from Scott Jennings there. And like I told you guys, MSDNC did not want to admit that this originated under the Biden administration. And you guys saw that graphic, how they try to say, yeah, the president's going after all these people. Listen, if they committed a crime, an investigation is warranted. I don't understand what the problem is. Now, when you think about President Trump, you clearly knew they went after him for malicious reasons, okay? It's just blatantly obvious. But one thing is for sure, I'm not convinced that any of these people will get convicted. And if they're convicted, I'm definitely not convinced they're going to serve any jail time. You let me know if you guys see it the same way. Now, according to MSDNC, if we circle back to them, here they are trying to minimize these charges and try to make their audience believe that there's really nothing here in regards to John Bolton. Take a listen.
There is what John Bolton's lawyer, Abby Lowell, has said in the past, which is that he has concluded that a lot of the records that are at issue or in dispute are ones that a longtime government official would have normally had in their home after serving in multiple presidencies. And I believe his lawyer pointed out at the time that these documents dated back to the George W. Bush presidency, so that they were pretty dated. I wish I could answer you more, I guess, definitively, but what we have thus far is that the U.S. Attorney's Office in Maryland is rather rapidly pursuing this case.
Well, that actually sounds familiar. When Letitia James and Fani Willis and Jack Smith rapidly pursued a case against Donald Trump, the 45th president at the time. So again, if they're looking for sympathy, they're not going to find it. Now, they can obviously scream into the echo chamber and be naive.
I don't know if you can put that one on the list exactly. Fani Willis has got, you know, I mean, we could spend a whole hour discussing the ethical problems of Fani Willis. I mean, some of these people have real problems. And so to call them all vendettas, I'm not sure is accurate. But look, my view is there's a process here. In the case of Letitia James, in the case of Comey, really in the case of anybody, you wind up getting charged through a grand jury system. The grand jury looks at these things. They decide whether you should go to trial. Then you get your day in court. And that's what happened to Donald Trump here in New York. He got put through a process, and as Alyssa pointed out, the one that she pursued against him, the big judgment was vacated. So it looked like it was massive overreach in that particular case. At some juncture, we do have to have some trust in the process. These are ordinary citizens. These are our peers. These are just average Americans who get called into grand juries and juries to sort out what's right and wrong, and I still have some belief that that system has integrity.
Yeah. Now, speaking of that system and Letitia James, Zohran Mamdani came out today during his press conference to, you know, throw his support behind the country. That's all country. That's all nonsense, but that's what he wants people to believe, so hear it for yourself.
This is that we are making clear that this is not simply an attack on Attorney General Tish James. This is an attack on our city. And each one of us represents different parts of that same city, and we speak with one voice today.
An attack on your city? Then when they did that to Trump, was that an attack on our whole nation? What are you talking about?
We speak with a voice that recognizes that we are standing in front of the same courthouse where Attorney General Tish James did her job. Upholding
You mean go after Trump for pretty much literally the same thing they just went after her for?
the law and holding Donald Trump accountable. Trump versus New York was argued in this courthouse. And yet, as it is so clear today, that fight continues outside of this courthouse as we speak.
Good point, Mark. Trump literally helped build the city.
Because what Donald Trump has sought to do with taking over the federal government is to advance his own greed and his own agenda. And we are now watching as in the pursuit of that advancement, he lays waste to our democracy.
His own agenda of keeping men out of women's sports? Which part of his agenda are you talking about?
This is a blatant miscarriage of
his agenda of keeping our immigration system intact and closing our borders? Which part are you talking about?
Justice. This is a shameless act of political retribution. And instead of prosecuting Tish James for doing her job, Donald Trump should be doing his.
You mean like all those executive orders that he's doing and doing circles around every other Democratic leader in our country? You mean that?
Well, according to the 77 million people that voted for President Trump, they believe he is doing his job. He's doing.
That's what I just said. The guy's doing his. Not only is he doing his job, he literally does circles around every other Democratic leader in power right now. And he's 80 years old, bro, or over 80 years old. And he does. Dude.
Doing exactly what he said he was going to do. And that seems to be the hiccup for Democrats in their messaging is you cannot dispute the president is doing exactly what he told the American people he would do. Yep. You may disagree with the way he's going about it, but you can't argue he's not taking action and he's not doing what he said he was going to do. How many times do we have to say it? Now, what's interesting about Mr. Mondani here is while he's out there supporting Big Tish James, it just proves once again this man doesn't care when it comes to China.
Happened. I mean, you've met with the Chinese. Treasury Secretary Bessent has met with the Chinese, came out of the last meeting suggesting that there was significant progress. Why the change?
That's exactly right, Brett. For the past 6 months, well, just to go back a little bit, 6 months ago, China took an action like this with respect to rare earth magnets. And over the past 6 months, we've been quite successful in securing the regular flow of those magnets to China. We've managed to have a truce, a fragile truce with China with respect to tariffs, where we continue to have high tariffs on China. But we're able to talk to them and have great communication. This action that recently happened, I mean, listen, China, negotiating with China is not like playing patty cake. On the one hand, they have a meeting with President Trump coming up, or they had one coming up. And on the other hand, they truly seek to acquire domination over global technology supply chains. This is a move clearly that they had in their pocket for a long time, and they thought that it was an appropriate time to.
Oh, he's 79? I didn't know that. I thought he was over 80. Is that what the left is saying? He's like 80 some years old? I didn't know that. He's 79.
This meeting, and I think they've really miscalculated what
Thanks for looking that up.
They've done here.
There's a lot of, obviously the markets were really spooked by this today. There are a lot of business.
Now, in case you still don't get exactly what's happening here, let me read this to you. It has just been learned that China has taken an extraordinarily aggressive position on trade in sending an extremely hostile letter to the world, stating that we're going to, effective November 1st, 2025, impose large-scale export controls on virtually every product that they make, and some not even made by them. This affects all countries without exception and was obviously a plan devised by them years ago. It is absolutely unheard of in international trade and a moral disgrace in dealing with other nations. So what is the bottom line? Well, the president announced that he's going to put a 100% tariff on China over and above any tariff that they currently are paying. Also on November 1st, they will or America will impose export controls on any and all critical software. And so that's the position that the president took. So, of course, what does media do? They start crying about the stock market, which dipped as a result of this announcement. And they decided to bring on an expert who I follow. He's the owner of the Cabosi Letter, which is a newsletter teaching and educating people about the stock market. Phenomenal work, by the way. You guys should follow him on X. But here he is telling CNN exactly what they don't want to hear.
Adam, just the context here, though, because you've been following a lot about this, that the market's been going up and up and up, and maybe going up in the face of some pretty scary economic stuff to come. Nobody knows, but it's been going up, and it's been going up because retail investors, right? Not big, sophisticated investors. Retail investors have been buying. So a lot of people have just bought in the past few weeks, right? Those people just got crushed today. That's pretty scary. So what do? I mean, do you think Trump follows through with this and this plunge actually lasts or not?
Yeah, I mean, look, retail inflows have been very strong, as you suggested. But I think this is really the textbook Trump playbook that we saw back in April, where he starts with these very big threats, these things that kind of cause these sharp reactions. And then he slowly starts to use it as a bargaining chip to reach a deal in what he's looking for, or what he views is a sustainable trade deal. And I think we already saw the first hint of that literally an hour ago. After the market had closed, President Trump said he actually hasn't canceled his meeting with China's President Xi yet. So I think this was the first sign of that. I think this weekend we see more happening. And ultimately, I think this dip is going to be bought. I think that the factors that have been driving the market higher for the last few months are incredibly strong. I think earnings growth is strong. AI is strong. The Fed is cutting rates. And we have deregulation in the background. And simultaneously, the market was up almost 40% in 6 months. I think we really just needed a reason to sell off. Today kind of caught everybody off guard, and the market fell sharply. But I don't think this is something that's going to derail us and send us back to the lows. If anything, we're looking to kind of capitalize on this and buy the dip.
Yeah, did you hear that? People are looking to capitalize on this. You see, why do people get so frantic, scared, and believe in Armageddon? It's because they lack understanding. If you actually study the stock market, you wouldn't be panicking right now because you know exactly what's happening. That's just the way that it works. And, CNN, they don't care about any of that. That's not their business. Their business is to continue to undermine President Trump at the moment. So they will try every step of the way to paint this picture as Armageddon, that what the president is doing with tariffs is erratic and dangerous. But the results don't show that.
Okay, I got Kennedy here. I'm gonna wait to put on Kennedy on the next stream. I'm gonna call it a day. Not gonna call it a day. I'm gonna call this session right now and do a reset on the system and everything. Grab some lunch, even though it's a late lunch now, and then I'm gonna jump back on in a little bit. Jen, thank you very much. Everyone else, thank you guys so much for joining me. I'm going to go and do this reset and everything. We'll come back and we're going to go through John Kennedy and a few other things that I haven't even got around to because we got kind of carried away with some of this other stuff. Anyway, guys, thank you again. And I think, is there anything else that I need to address before we go? I don't think so. Anthony, thanks for joining, man. Appreciate you subscribing. Thank you, everyone. And we will be back I'll be back probably about, right now it's 3 p.m. Pacific time in California. Be back on, I'd say right around 5-ish. Anyways, appreciate you guys. Thanks again. Bye-bye.